October 29th, 1994, the Westminster Titans need just one win, a win over Tiffin University, to advance to the NAIA playoffs.
Time to go 20 yards to the end zone. Touchdown! Tiffin has just scored a touchdown with 20 seconds to play to take the lead over Westminster.
The Titans need the miracle comeback, or the 94-95 playoff hopes will be ending. Titans senior quarterback Sean O'Shea looks for his favorite receiver, Tim McNeil, in the end zone.
He gets it! The Titans come back to win it!
Nearly being eliminated from the playoffs, we've seen a new Westminster Titan team since that day. Undefeated, moving on to the national championship game, taking on Buffalo State in the way.
O'Shea rolling left to the end zone. Has Tim McNeil, touchdown Westminster.
That was Westminster 35, Buffalo State 19. Round one of the playoffs. A rematch with Findlay. Westminster 41, Findlay 30. Round two, a rematch with Tiffin University. A different story this time, Westminster 42, Tiffin 14. The semifinals last week, Muddy Memorial Field. Andy Blatt has a field day. Westminster 46, Lambeth, Tennessee 6. And that brings us live to Portland, Oregon, the Westminster Titans and the Cable 9 television crew, as Westminster College Communication Arts Department, with private donation, presents Westminster Titan football, NAIA Championship football, on the KBL Sports Network. And welcome to Portland, Oregon. I'm Dave Warner, along with Coach Joe Flesko, as the Westminster Titans have made a long trip here on Thursday night, and the weather conditions are playing effect as the Westminster Titans versus the Pacific Lutheran Lutes for the second year in a row, and Pacific trying to do something that only the Westminster Titans have done, win 2 national championships in a row against the same team. The Titans, of course, are trying to put an end to that. Welcome to Portland. It's been raining heavily over the next couple of days, and Coach, the field looks pretty wet out there. In fact, as the numbers look like they have, the painted numbers are kind of faded and worn out already. What is the condition of the field today here at Portland Civic Stadium?
Well, yesterday when the team came out to practice at 10:30, the field was wet. It stopped raining, but we had a lot of rain last evening. What you see out there now is bleeding of the field. The field has the numbers that were painted on yesterday were covered. They lined the field this morning. But I think it's going to be a fast track. I don't see that's going to be a big problem for us today, for either team, unless we have another downpour here right after kickoff.
Well, I understand the Titans have done some practicing on the turf this week to get used to this artificial surface.
Yes, on Tuesday afternoon, we sent the squad over to Youngstown State University to practice for an afternoon, about a 2-hour practice. And then, of course, they had a good hour and a half practice here yesterday.
Well, Coach, it's a battle of offenses and defenses this year. Last year was Pac Lutheran with the powerful offense. This year, certainly not a weak offense, but it's the Westminster Titans that are coming in here with the offense, and part of that offense has got to be Mr. Sean O'Shea, the senior quarterback and the record breaker for the Westminster Titans.
Well, Sean certainly has matured since he took over at quarterback. But I think one of the things that really has helped him also is the fact that we have a potent running attack, and that has taken a little bit of heat off him. But he's throwing the ball very well. Andy Blatt's running very well. I think a lot of credit has to go to the offensive line. They have played very well.
And part of that potent offense, when you talk about the running game, Coach, is Andy Blatt, who's moving up in the records books. He's number 2, only behind Brad Tokar, has already beaten a couple of those Brad Tokar records.
Andy's a fine football player. He's an explosive player, 205 pounds. He's going to get after people. You're going to have to put some hits on him and get a few people to the ball when he's carrying it.
Well, when looking at the other side of the thing, the fence, the Lutes have had a tough schedule themselves. They have had a great football program, and they have an outstanding defense this year. 9 of their defensive starters from last year's championship game back, and one of those being a safety has been the leading tackler. That's kind of unusual for a safety to be the leading tackler, isn't it, Coach?
Well, when our fans see the kind of defense Pacific Lutheran is playing, the safeties are playing around 4.5 to 5 yards off the ball, and they are making most of the tackles. But it's a very aggressive 7-man front with 2 safety men within 5 yards, 4 to 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. So basically, they're playing a 9-man front a lot of times.
And a part of that defensive will is their outside linebacker playing a big role.
Yes, they have 3 fine linebackers, but the job of the front 4 is to keep the offensive linemen off the linebackers, let them flow to the ball, and then let the safety step up and make the play. So I think you're going to see a very aggressive defense on the part of PLU today.
Well, you look for Trevor White, number 14. He's the safety. Number 6, the linebacker, is John Ruby, the man we talked about. The kickoff is going to be coming up here next, folks. It should be a great one from Portland, Oregon, as you're watching a Westminster College production of NAIA Championship football here along on the KBL Sports Network. The kickoff next.
Enjoy living on a boat in the South Seas while you studied the ecology of nearby islands, or tracing the steps of the Allied armies as they marched across Europe during World War II. These are just 2 of the innovative courses offered during January term at Westminster College, an intense 4-week learning experience that comes between fall and spring terms each year. January term is a unique, exciting opportunity for Westminster students. For more information about the many benefits available at Westminster College, contact the Office of Admissions at 946-7100.
Hi, this is Rich McGarry, director of today's live telecast, and I'd just like to give a special thanks to all my crew members and to wish everyone a happy holidays.
And welcome back here to Civic Stadium, Portland, Oregon. It's Oregon, we are pronounced out here. We have been told by the local folks. And we're going to see the coin toss here shortly. But part of the battle we did not talk about in the pregame, Coach, is coaching. We have a couple of coaching battles going on here. One of those is Frosty Westering. Now, he is the winningest NAIA coach in history, and he has never lost to the Westminster Titans. He's played the Titans twice, and he has won both times.
Frosty is a personal friend, fellow coach. We've socialized together, visited together. He is very, very outspoken about the qualities of football and what it brings out in his young men, and he coaches very aggressively, and his players play that way.
Well, when we look at the Titans side, we have a new head coach replacing you, of course. That's Gene Nicholson, and what a 4 years he has had. For the 4 years, he's had an over 80% winning record, and in all 4 of those years, he's made it to the NAIA playoffs, and 2 times these past 2 years to the national championship. It's not bad for a start coach.
Gene and I have been together since 1963 in one capacity or the other. He's done a fine job. He gives a lot of credit to his staff, and we've all been together for years, and it's just nice to see a program continue, and a lot of credit goes to the administration for providing us with those tools we need to keep the program alive.
I want to thank the Westminster administration for making this broadcast on the KBL Sports Network alive through private donations. The administration was very supportive. Art Rathjen and Dr. Oscar Remick, our president, and raising the finances that we needed to bring this back. This is a Westminster College production as we look at Frosty Westering. And it's going to be a coaching battle. It's going to be a tough battle. When you get to the national championship, you have the best. It's who will play the best, who's going to bring home that championship. It's going to be all known here in just a couple hours. And the rains have stopped. It seemed like it was meant to be. It rained heavily all week. It was pouring this morning, but the rains have stopped now. It's not a bad day in Portland. It might be the warmest day in history here, with temperatures reaching up into the 60s on this 17th day of 1994, the NAIA National Championships. The Westminster Titans have won the toss. They will receive. We're ready to go with football. Coming down at the 10-yard line to Todd McLean. He will return through the center of the field. And he will come out to around the 24-yard line. And you'll hear a little bit more noise, I think, today, Coach, from the Pacific Lutheran fans, since they're only about 2 hours away. However, not a bad contingent considering the distance for Titan fans either.
We had a lot of Titan fans, alums from the area. A lot of fans flew out on Friday. We had a group of parents fly out with us on the charter flight. We'll be well represented.
There's that powerful defensive backfield and ends there. Andy Blatt, the big part. Darin Coast has been a great part in there blocking Eric Petoskey. And the offensive line has done a great job as well for the Westminster Titans. And the Titans are healthy. They haven't really lost anyone this year. They had some players out for a few weeks, but they're here in strength today. A penalty. Nate Armstrong Armstrong across the line there. I don't know if he missed the snap count, was drawn off, or what happened, but it looks like it will be an early penalty.
I can say this. The offensive line is very anxious to redeem themselves based on last year's performance. And Nate's a fine offensive football player. Everyone's a little bit nervous if you've never been in this situation. It takes around 2 or 3 plays to get it all out of your system. But that does put the Titans in some deep trouble. Now it's 1st and 15, and this is a very aggressive defense.
And the ball now back at the 19-yard line. Sean O'Shea, the quarterback, is showing the I formation. Sean O'Shea will roll back on the bootleg, throws it downfield just in time. Gets to McNeil. He's a little bit short of the first down marker. Looks about a yard short of the first down marker for this vantage point, but picks up 14 yards to his favorite receiver, junior Tim McNeil.
Well, PLU is going to run a lot of man-to-man coverage on the outside. That's why they can play their safeties 4 to 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. John Hamill's going to have his hands full today. He's a fine athlete, but Tim has great speed. He went to the Nationals in the intermediate hurdles, and I think the Titans are going to take advantage of the one-on-one coverage out there on both our receivers. Bruckner out here is being covered one-on-one. You can see how close the safeties are to the line of scrimmage.
Sean O'Shea, coach, barely got that pass away as he took a decking after he got the pass completed down to Bruckner. His knee was on the ground. He catches it. It should be a first down. He was beyond the first down marker, but not by a whole lot. From our vantage point, it looks like he will have a first down.
Again, the Titans went to shotgun. They've not run shotgun since about the last regular season game of the year. But again, with field conditions the way they are, the ball will be fairly dry because it's not raining at this point. They're going to mix it up. They're going to have to come after PLU with a lot of weapons. PLU that time brought their outside linebacker trying to put pressure on the quarterback at this time.
So it's a first down for the Westminster Titans. Underway from Portland, Oregon, just underway here. Starting at 1 o'clock out here on the West Coast. Of course, 4 o'clock back home. At the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 Westminster. They receive the opening kickoff. Who's just joining us? Andy Blatt gets the first run. Andy Blatt gets a good carry. There's a flag on the play, though. It lays back around the 35-yard line. Andy Blatt will get out to the 42 for a gain of about 6 or 7 on first down.
I think you're going to find PLU jumped offside. Again, Sean O'Shea using the Titan cadence to pull them offside. Again, notice, I'd like to ask the fans to notice how tight the 3 linebackers for PLU will be in their alignment. The Mike linebacker is really up there, very tight, and he's going to come after some people. PLU has made some substitutions now. They have what they call some of their speed rushers. It's amazing how they come up with some of these titles, but they have some smaller offensive or defensive linemen, and they'll bring them into the game periodically to try to put the pressure on.
The Titans showing twin receivers at the top of your screen off your picture. They are Bruckner and McNeil, and now Blatt will join them out there to make it 3 receivers to the right side. O'Shea will roll to the right, has protection and gets caught from behind. He will be sacked at the 39-yard line. He had protection for a moment, but then it fell down. And Sean isn't able to get the pass off, and there's a sack on the play.
I mentioned speed rushers, number 47. John Roberts is a backup defensive end, but he has 10.5 sacks. And in their press release, they indicated that they will bring him in to give what they call the speed rush and try to beat the faster or the bigger Titan offensive line.
You can see that Andy Blatt was covered there in that play.
We're going to see a lot of man-to-man coverage in the secondary. They're going to try to get after us with 4 or 5 people rushing, and sometimes 6.
So it's big third down play for the Titans. They will pitch it to Andy Blatt. He might throw the halfback pass. He does. He has McNeil wide open. Can he get it? He does. He brings it in. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown to McNeil.
That's an excellent football play. As I told you, Andy Blatt will draw a crowd, and when you give the ball to Andy on what looks like a power sweep, it's going to draw a crowd. They're playing man-to-man on the corners. An excellent play. I think it's rather interesting. PLU and Frosty Westering are known for their trick plays. And here the first touchdown for the Titans come on a trick play, and I think it was a very fine call. Here's the replay. You see Andy made it look like the run. Now they're all isolated. The safety got caught up short, and no one's going to catch Timmy from behind. As I said, he was a intermediate hurdler, was at the Nationals last year representing Westminster College. Willie Wood will try the extra point.
There's a flag on the play here.
On the play. I don't know what they called, unless PLU has too many men on the field, possible.
The Titan fans have seen that halfback pass from Andy Blatt several times this year, but
yes.
I doubt that they were on any of the tapes that were sent out to Pac Lutheran for this game.
PLU had 12 men on the field. As a matter of fact, they're still standing there. Someone forgot to come off the field for the extra point or field goal team.
I don't know if the extra point will be tried again by Willie Woods. Early in the ball game here, we only have a short amount of time off the clock. 12:31 remains here in the first period, and the Titans have struck first, starting down around the 25-yard line, moving the ball down the field, mainly in the air.
If the Titan fans remember, last year we drove the ball down the field in our first possession and fumbled first and goal on the 3-yard line. So it's better to be where we are right now.
We can see for ourselves whether this will go through. Here's the kick. Looks good. It is good. And the Titans lead 7-0. We'll be back with a kickoff next as the Westminster College production of NAIA Championship football continues on the KVL Sports Network.
What do you think all these are for, huh, cutie? These are for all your toys. And this one is for the plumber. Remember when Daddy tried to turn the kitchen into a swimming pool?
If your bills are piling up, maybe it's time to think about a consolidation loan from First Western Bank. All you have to do to apply is pick up the phone and call.
You don't happen to have a couple thousand hidden underneath the crib, do you?
Welcome back. Take a look at the crowd here, and the Titans lead at 7-0 on the Westminster College Cable 9 Sports Network. I want to thank the KVL folks down in Pittsburgh for picking up our feed today of this live telecast from Portland, Oregon. Turned out to be a beautiful day here. All kinds of complications getting here, but hey, it's great. It's football. It's a great football day, and it's great to see the Titans off with the early lead as we see back deep.
That's Josh Requay is the one deep man, I believe, yes.
We just saw on our screen Peter Feinstunen, number 32. And head coach Gene Nicholson on the sideline pacing. That's a tough spot to be in, Coach.
Well,
you were there.
That would be a great spot. You're away from all the fans, and you don't have to listen to anyone. I wouldn't mind coaching on that side of the field all the time.
Tim McNeil will kick off for the first time today with the Titans leading 7-0. Ball's going to go out of bounds. There's going to be a penalty out to the, probably get the ball out at the 35-yard line if Pacific Lutheran accepts it.
Tim did not want to do that. I don't know if he just mishit the ball. We certainly do not want to get a team like Pac Lutheran this kind of field position with the ball on 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line. And so the Titan defense will have to go to work at this point. I'd like to mention to the folks, you can see the Titan defense there. Mark Biggin, Craig Villwock will be putting a lot of pressure from the outside. Harold Starger and Craig Mills are the two leading defensive leaders for the Titans in defensive points.
And the Lutes are working out of the shotgun here early. They will sometimes put out 4 wide receivers as they try to pitch to the outside. Good effort by the back for the Lutes, but he doesn't get any yardage out of it. Aaron Tang.
That's Aaron Tang. Aaron Tang is their leading rusher and their leading pass receiver. Not real big, 5'8", 175 pounds. Here's the replay. They try to run the option off the shotgun. Very good job by Craig Villwock coming up to force the pitch and then running down the ball along with our outside linebacker, Jason Servant.
And so now working out of the shotgun again, it will be 2nd down and 9 for the Lutes from the 36-yard line. Nowhere to go for Mr. Aaron Tang. And 2 plays, it's been backwards for the Lutes so far today.
Well, their PLU is trying to establish a running attack. They have shown all these formations before. They're a multiple formation offense. Don't be too surprised if they line up with no backs in the backfield behind the quarterback before the day is over. Sometimes they'll come with 2 tight ends and a full house backfield. They try to confuse the defense and the coverages by doing multiple things. But the first 2 plays from shotgun and the third plays from shotgun. Okay, here we see 2 tight ends and double flankers.
Carl Joseph is their quarterback, working on a 3rd down play here. Titan defense trying to hold right here. Obvious passing situation. Pass protection, goes downfield, has a receiver, and a nice pass. And a 1st down to Carl Heinz. Heinz, that is, for the Lutes.
Okay, again, 2 tight ends, 2 flankers, brought the back right out of the backfield, and really created a situation where we didn't pick up our replay. They really created a situation where they flooded zones, and Titans were unable to make their coverage.
And so a 1st down in Westminster territory, down at the 42-yard line for the Lutes. Coming a couple hours from Washington down to Portland here, bringing a big crowd with them.
Here's the no-back offense that I told you about.
Okay, they will get the ball out with their own halfback situation. Defenders everywhere, and the ball's going to fall incomplete as 2 defenders for the Titans were down there on their intended receiver, Kynes.
You saw a no-back offense. You saw a backward pass, which is a lateral, and that meant that Tang then could throw the ball down the field. The first PLU trick play. There is PLU's offense. Rather young offensive line, and really their strength and their seniority comes in the quarterback and in their running back, Joseph and Tang. Here again, the quarterback in the backfield on a shotgun. We have the potential of 5 receivers going out for pass here.
Plenty of protection. They will get the pass downfield. And a nice run across the field, trying to break loose on there was Feinstunen. But he is not able to get any running room downfield.
Again, they ran 2 inside receivers up the field deep, delayed the wide receiver and brought him back underneath. But again, they also released Tang out to the other side. So we had 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, and they feel they can grasp protect. Here we see the receiver coming underneath. Great reaction to the ball by the Titan defense. That's Craig Mills making the tackle.
So now it's a big 3rd down play for the Lutes. And for the Titan defense. Last time a 3rd down, they were able to complete. They complete again. They have the 1st down at the Titan 35-yard on 2. Critical 3rd down and long plays. The Lutes have come through.
That time from the shotgun, the quarterback rolled to the right. Tried to give himself more time. A very good move. Again, flooding the zones. As you can see, he rolled right, flooding the zones, hitting the receiver. We had Harold Starzer was right there, but couldn't make the play to knock the ball down. 1st and 10.
Now the ball at the Titan 35. Titans leading the ball game 7-0. 10:35 to go here, period 1 from Portland, Oregon live. Trying to get outside and nowhere to go. The Titans do well on the first couple of snap plays, it seems. It's the 3rd down play. He's killed him there, and Tang can't get anywhere.
That's what they call the wraparound draw. The quarterback runs past the setback, runs past, and then sticks it in from behind. There you can see the Titan ability to run people down. Craig Villwock, great speed. Mark Biggin has excellent speed. The Titan linebackers all run very well. Crucial 2nd down and 12 now for the Titans. And we see a more conventional offensive set by PLU.
Tang in motion. He'll get the carry. Going outside, has blockers. Gets down to the 30s. Going to be 3rd down and 5 for the Lutes.
Again, that was an attempt at a pro-type sweep, bringing Tang around with some blockers. He does a fine job of stretching out the defense and then trying to find the seam. As you can see, he's stretching it out. There's the seam, but we had excellent fill by our safety man as well as our outside people, and we were able to stuff him short of the 1st down. We're in 4 down territory, though, so the Lutes will have 2 downs to make this 1st down.
That was Peter Constuen with the last carry, number 32. And a shotgun on 3rd down. Protection across the field. The receiver will not get any
running room. That's because he couldn't bring it in. If he was able to get that ball in his hands, there was room downfield.
Again, as we can see, they had 3 receivers at the top of the screen, 2 to the bottom. They ran all the receivers to the top of the screen, up the field, delayed, and brought another receiver under. They're trying to isolate their better receivers on our linebackers. You can see Craig Mills chasing along with Wetzel.
So now it's going to be the 4th down play. Can the Titans hold? Down at the Titan 30. Titans lead 7-0. 5:30 to play in the first quarter.
2 tight end shotgun offense.
Back to pass on 4th down. Nearly caught from behind. Now he gets the pass off to the end zone. Touchdown.
Excellent play. Excellent reaction to the ball. Outstanding move on the ball. Andy Barry sat back in his zone coverage, and when the ball was released, he was able to make the move to the ball and knock it down. There again was a tight end. They snuck the tight end deep up the seam. We got a little bit of pressure from the backside, not quite able to get our hands on him, but enough pressure to force him out. And there's Andy Barry making the great play. Titans have good field position too, David.
Terrific defensive stop by the Titans as they maintain their 7-0 lead. And the offense gets back out in the field for the 2nd time today. First time on the field to score for the Titans, and they lead 7-0 with 7:33 to go here in the first period.
I think that was a very important drive for the Titan defense. They showed that they're going to be very tough against the run, but also that they're going to have to work on the pass defense. But PLU is trying to isolate quick receivers on our linebackers. We run a 4-linebacker defense with 3 deep in the secondary, and it's going to be interesting to see how they change their plan of attack as we go along.
The weather play is stopped here. There's a stoppage of play on the field. Sean O'Shea, you just saw number 11, is the Titan quarterback. He is the all-time leading passer for Westminster, passing Joe McKee, who played for you, with a huge 240-yard game.
Well, actually, Sean is a different type of quarterback than Joe. Joe was a drop back, sprint out, throw the ball. Sean is a scrambler, does an excellent job on the play action passing, runs the ball very well. Both of them were fine athletes, and both deserve all the honors that they get.
So now the Titans showing a power I formation here. The running formation, and there's a stoppage of play before we can get anywhere. We'll see what the flags are for.
I don't see a flag on the field, David. I don't know what occurred, whether we started the play before the officials had put the ball into play. They're looking like they're just marking the ball for 1st and 10 again.
They were talking to the Titan quarterback, Sean O'Shea. Perhaps they were saying, hey, we weren't ready here. There's no flag.
That must have been the situation. No flag. It's now 1st and 10. Titans are in a I formation, 2 wide receivers.
Eric Stowe's in motion. Downfield for McNeil, has the 1st down, 42-yard line of the Westminster.
No, they said Tim did not have possession of the ball when he went out of bounds. Both officials were right on the play. They claimed that he had his feet inbounds but was unable to possess the ball. Here again we see the speed rushers coming in. We can see the play again. Tim has it. His feet hit inbounds, but he did not have possession as he was falling out of bounds. He must possess that ball. Here are the speed rushers now coming into the ball game. Number 47 is not as big as some of the other defensive linemen that they have, but they feel because of his quickness, they're able to get up the field. There you see what we call trying to figure out when the snap is going to be and get a jump on the ball. That was number 7, Ted Riddell, and he just was unable to read the cadence. This is credit too to Sean O'Shea. He must be changing his cadence up quite a bit.
You look at the senior quarterback. He predicted at the beginning of the season they were going to win the national championship. The Titans will win the national championship. He predicted that on the Titan radio station, WBZY, and so far, 1 game away right now.
Again, you'll see more conventional offensive formations from the Titans. But again, there's the PLU defense. There is not one man any deeper than 5 or 6 yards from the line of scrimmage.
And Andy Blatt will surge ahead for what might be a Titan first down.
It looks like they have the first down.
Good 5-yard gain there.
Well, I said earlier that Andy is 205 pounds, runs very well, and it's going to be very difficult for one person to bring Andy down. Okay. PLU now is bringing in what they call their heavier defensive linemen to try to put the rush in. That may be the Titans' counter, too. When they bring the lighter people in, we may see them running at number 47 a little more.
The Titans have a 1st and 10. Pass downfield, tries for Bruckner, can't get it. Bruckner out across the 50 at the 48 at the first down marker, but it falls incomplete.
Again, I think we're getting a feel now for the Titan rhythm. They are definitely going to attack those corners. They're going to force the corners to cover one-on-one. The corners are not getting a lot of help underneath by the outside linebackers, Riddell and Benedict. They are not getting that kind of help. So they're out there on an island all by themselves. The safeties are up near the line of scrimmage.
6:56 to play, period 1. Titans lead 7-0 on the drive again at their own 41-yard line. Darin Coast breaks tackles and gets 4 or 5 yards.
There we saw an inside linebacker blitz trying to get the pressure. The hope is to slip the back up inside on that play. Darin did a nice job of bouncing off the blitzer and picking up a few yards.
So now a 3rd down and 5 situation for the Titans.
A big 3rd down play. I'm anxious to see how the Titans attack this 3rd down play, and also anxious to see what kind of pressure PLU tries to put on.
The National Championship game coming to you from Portland on the Westminster College Cable 9 KVL network. And the Titans will fall short. Now will be a decision for Coach Nicholson. 4th down, near the 50.
There's no decision at all, David. This is punting territory. The Titans believe in the kicking game, and they're going to stick with it. To try to go for a 1st down at this time of the game and with more than 2 yards to go would, I really think, be foolish. And Coach Nicholson sends the punting team in. Matt Swerbach's first punt of the day. Hopefully he'll get it up the field and force PLU to have below average field position.
Hit the ball.
Ball will bounce.
A very low.
Trevor White gets to the 26.
Not a very good punt at all. We had hoped to get the ball up in the air and get our people down the field. But still, starting from the 26, if you remember when they had the ball the first time, they started from the 35. So a little better field position for the Titans.
Trevor White returning.
The kicking game, I believe, is going to play a big part at some time in this ball game because of the fact that it is the biggest determiner of field position of anything that you can see. And with the ability to get the ball down the field to cover, people like Trevor White are going to be important for the receiving team because you certainly don't want to fumble the football. The punter and the kicker are both going to have to do better for the Titans because we do have to score points when we have the opportunity, and we do have to get them downfield. There's Frosty. Frosty is a believer in the kicking game, but he's more a believer in a wide open offense. He's had quarterbacks that has thrown the ball as much as 55, 60 times a ball game over the years, and he's, as I said, a close personal friend and quite a character. Gene right there on the sideline, along with assistant coach Daryui, has opened the offense up quite a bit the past year and a half. I think one of the reasons we were able to do that, we were able to hire a very intelligent young coach by the name of Sean Kelly. Sean has taken over the offense and has put a lot of new wrinkles into the Titan offense and put the ball up in the air.
And the Lutes are back in offense.
A very conventional offensive formation here. Something we didn't see the first series. Outstanding hit by Craig Mills. Craig is the Titans' leading defensive point getter, and he is quick to fill on the inside.
carrier there.
When PLU goes to this type of offensive set, they run what we call in coaching parlance the wing T type of offense. And I know this has been drilled into the players' heads. Certain formations look for certain type of offensive plays. Here again, a very conventional offensive set. It's an unbalanced line.
Fake the handoff, early passing. Some pressure, he'll have to get the ball away.
That time they went unbalanced line. They faked the wide play to the left. The quarterback came up. He wanted to hit his tight end on a quick pop pass over the middle. But our outside linebacker was able to step up inside the receiver. Holset did the smart thing. He pulled the ball down. And Jason Savone was right there ready to jump on the ball had he thrown it. Big third down play for the Titans. Unbalanced line to the left.
Third down and 8 for the Lutes. They trail in the ball game 7-0 to Westminster in the NAIA National Championship game live from Portland, Oregon. Downfield the pass intercepted. The Westminster Titans intercept the ball.
Joe Allison. The Titans were in a deep zone. But I tell you what made that play, David. The play was made because of the extreme pressure that Craig Villwock was able to get up the field into the quarterback's face. Hillseth has only thrown approximately 5 or 6 interceptions this year, so that is really something. Watch the pressure he gets right here from 88. 2 men are on him, overthrew the ball. Joe Allison was right there to make the interception. Big play for the Titans and a big opportunity for the Titans to put some more points on the board. They're in 4-down territory.
Down at the 25-yard line of the Lutes, the Titans lead 7-0 with 4:40 to go here in the first period from Civic Stadium in Portland. O'Shea goes downfield. It's incomplete as Darin Coast loses his footing out there.
Well, again, pressure is coming. That time the Lutes brought 2 of their linebackers. Ruby put a lot of pressure on. Sean was unable to pull the ball up right there and hit Darin. Darin was definitely open. That's the bootleg pass where you sneak the fullback out into the flat. He was open, but again, no time to throw. Here are the Titans with 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen and a wide receiver up top.
Second down and 10 for the Titans at the Lutes 25-yard line. Quick pass downfield and right there except Petoskey as Sean O'Shea with the third down.
Again, John Ruby putting pressure on the quarterback. Again, you see the Titans trying to isolate the outside defenders, one-on-one. And again, here come the speed rushers for the PLU Lutes.
Sean O'Shea getting the play from the sideline. The Titans not wanting to miss a golden opportunity here to go up 14-0. They lead the ball game 7-0. It's a third down 10 play from the Lutes 25-yard line.
Look for a blitz here from the Lutes. Man-to-man coverage.
Going down to the end zone. McNeil, we can't bring it in. It's going to be a fourth down play coming up.
That time the Lutes came with a 5-man rush. And again, with only a 4 or 5-man rush, the Titans will give Sean excellent protection. As you can see, he had time this time. He had his receiver open. Timmy just was unable to reach up and get the ball. The ball was placed right for the end zone flag or pylon, and that's the kind of pass you want to throw. Here we have an attempt at a 42-yard field goal, and Tim McNeil will make the attempt.
Timmy, the long field goal kicker. Bruckner is the holder here.
It's long enough, but wide to the left.
No good. We have timeout in the field, and with this timeout in the field, we're going to take our own timeout on this Westminster College production of NAIA National Championship football on KBL. That's why I put the timeout. I know that they hold it.
Where can you find small residential college with a national reputation for excellence in the liberal arts. A college that offers challenging experiences both in and out of the classroom, encouraging both personal and intellectual growth. A college whose size and 16-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio make possible long-lasting friendships with both students and professors. Westminster College offers these advantages and many more. For more information about Westminster, contact the Office of Admissions at 946-7100.
Carey is a little miscommunication with the officials here. Back to pass. The pass complete beyond the first down marker. It'll be a 1st and 10 Lutes.
Again, that's Aaron Tang. He is their leading receiver during the year. He's also their leading rusher. He had 57 receptions coming into this ball game. The Lutes are going to stick with a little more conventional offense now. Wing T type, play action fakes, and trying to get someone in between the zones, between the linebackers in the deep secondary.
Titans lead by 7 with 3:23 to go here in the first period. 7-0 is the score. Titans scored in their first offensive series. We have a timeout in the field, and with the timeout in the field, the Westminster Titans lead 7-0. And this Westminster College production of NAIA National Championship football will continue from Civic Stadium in a minute on the KBL Sports Network.
Heads or tails of your loan application? We know how you feel. That's why Integra Bank has shortened and simplified their application just by using some common sense. Now it's easy to get the loans you need for times like these. You know, now you can apply for a loan just by calling Integra Bank. Guess money really does talk. Hey, it writes too. Call 1-800-3-INTEGRA to apply for the loans you need for times like these at Integra Bank.
And welcome back here as the Titans hold on to a narrow 7-point lead. Missing an opportunity for a field goal, Coach, that can cost you later.
Well, we lost good field position, but let's see if we can bounce back here. Here, the Lutes are going to their 3-wide offense up the top of the screen. Actually, one back in the backfield. Here comes the delay pass underneath.
And they have a receiver. It's the break outside, nearly going for a touchdown. Finstunen.
That is a called play. That is an underneath screen. They put all the receivers to the top. They bring the back out of the backfield, and then they drag a receiver on. You see the linemen are downfield. They're allowed to block downfield if the pass is caught behind the line of scrimmage. And so they get the linemen downfield. They throw the ball underneath, and they set up a screen. Here's the wing T formation here.
It's a 1st and 10 in Westminster territory at the 47-yard line for the Lutes. Lutes trail 7-0.
That was an unbalanced line too, David.
2:55 trying to get outside Finstunen, and he's not been able to get much running room. Not much running capabilities today so far for the Lutes.
Well, a lot of their plays that have been unsuccessful are what we call east-west plays. You make money going north and south in football, and you really cannot run east and west. And the Titan defense has done a good job of flattening out the offense. As you can see, they're flattening out and looking and run to the ball. There's Harold Stargell, there's Joe Allison, and they're getting 3 or 4 people on the ball. Excellent job.
Back to live action here at Civic Stadium. The shotgun formation for Hoseth. Pass downfield is complete. Now let's see what the penalty is. Back in the backfield.
I think we're going to have holding. Number 74, the offensive left tackle for PLU, Phil McNiven. He did everything but tackle Craig Villwock.
Will be a hold against the Lutes.
And you know, this is going to be another thing. Will the Lutes be able to block one-on-one? It's the top of the screen, 74. There you see Craig, and he just tackled him. He grabbed a hold of him and tackled him. And it's going to be very, very important for the Titans to get a good four-man rush. Not necessarily sack the quarterback, but hurry him, make him move around a little bit, make him have what we call busy feet, so that he throws the ball possibly a little late.
And the Titans have gotten a good situation for themselves on the penalty. Second down and 20 now. And the ball moved back into Lute territory, away from Clayton territory at the 41-yard line.
Here we have four receivers to the bottom of the screen, one to the top. Shotgun formation.
Joseph back, looking, has plenty of time, runs out of trouble, has a long way to go to get the first down. Will get the ball out to the 44-yard line. Got to give him credit for eluding the sack.
Well, again, good four-man pressure. That time it was Brian Germanowski, number 91. We need to get pressure with a four-man rush so that we can play a lot of deep zones and force the quarterback to pick and choose. Here again, as you can see, you'll see 91 right there. That's called a hurry. Didn't sack them, and then finally Mark Biggin came up and made the tackle after a short gain. We've got 3rd and 18 now. Titans are going to give up a few yards here, but they don't want to give up the big one.
Third down conversions, 2 so far in the big long situations for the Lutes. This will be a third opportunity, and this one is going to be for 0, and again, the Lutes will have to punt.
Again, excellent pressure by 64, Brian Honey. Excellent pressure. The quarterback wanted to throw up the field to the wide receiver, but he dumped the ball off to Aaron Tang and was hurried at that time.
And so now it's a 4th down play. The Titans expecting the punt. Tim McNeil stands back at the 25-yard line to wait for it. Frisch is the punter. McNeil backpedals, picks it up to 21, 25, cuts, looks, gets to the 30, and that's all the further Mr. McNeil will get on that run back, and it's going to be 1st and 10 Titans at the 30.
But again, we talked about steady special teams play. Timmy's job was to field the ball, give us good field position, and not make a mistake, and he did that. We did a fine job of holding up at the line of scrimmage. Tim was able to field the ball, had to beat one tackler, and Titans have the ball now on the 31-yard line, with about 45 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Titans lead 7-0 with 45 to go in the period. They have scored on their very first offensive series, had an opportunity down at the 25-yard line a few moments ago, did not score. Their only scoring so far in the ball game has been that first drive of the Titans. Andy Blatt will get a couple yards out of that play, and that's it.
And the Titans that time went to a one-back offense with Andy at the deep position, putting a lot of receivers out, trying to spread out the linebacking core of PLU and run up the middle. That time they were able to stop it. We were very successful on that play early in the game.
Ball placed out to 34-yard line. That's Andy Blatt right there, number 18 from Greenville High School.
Again, look at the depth of the safety men. They're up on the line of scrimmage. They're within 5 yards of the ball.
Andy Blatt finds a hole. I don't know. It looks short of the first down.
Well, the umpire had an assist on that one. PLU had 12 players on that play, and I don't think it was very fair. The poor umpire. That's the hardest position in football to officiate. You're right in behind all those linemen. You try to get out of people's way. And it just really, really is difficult sometimes when you have all those bodies tripping over each other.
Civic Stadium in Portland, Oregon. There's a timeout on the field. That's the end of the quarter. We've played one quarter. At the end of one, the Westminster Titans lead in the ball game by a score of 7-0. Now this time out for our local cable affiliates on the KBL Sports Network.
Fitness Center and a major facelift for the football stadium top the list of the current and future improvements to Westminster College's athletic facilities. Both are part of the college's $35 million capital campaign called A Heritage for Westminster. The new stadium complex, to be named after the late Dr. Harold E. Burry, Westminster head football coach for 20 years, will include an improved natural grass playing surface, a synthetic track, increased seating, and a new press box. For more information or to make a contribution, call 946-7370.
The NAIA was the first association to provide championship opportunities for both men and women, establishing a women's division in 1980. And the NAIA, with the adoption of stringent academic eligibility legislation in 1987, became the only intercollegiate athletic association to require that all participating student athletes exhibit constant progress toward an academic degree to maintain eligibility. And that is the NAIA definition of success.
All the behind-the-scenes positions for today's TV broadcast, from camera to director, are held by Westminster College broadcast communications majors. Broadcast instruction from professionals in the field, plus extensive hands-on experience in both radio and television, can be found close to home. Be part of the action in the future. Learn more about broadcasting at Westminster College. For more information, contact the Westminster College admissions office.
You know, now you can apply for a loan just by calling Integra Bank. Guess money really does talk. Hey, it writes, too. Call 1-800-3-INTEGRA to apply for the loans you need for times like these at Integra Bank. You know, if you had a nickel for every one of the thousands of loans Integra Bank made last year to people and families around here, well, you probably wouldn't need a loan. Integra Bank has the loans you need for times like these.
Welcome back. The second quarter underway. The Titans have one pass play we missed from Tim McNeil. For Sean O'Shea downfield long to Tim McNeil during the timeout. It is now a second down for Westminster.
2nd and 10, good field position. Titans go with their one-back offense.
Andy Blatt, one step away from big yardage.
Dave, that's a play the Titans worked on all week. It's a simple, basic offensive dive play. But again, the Lutes move up the field so quickly. They're trying to give the ball to Andy and have him break it all the way back over the center. One tackle away from making a big gain.
Ball right now placed at the 46-yard line of Westminster. And a big third down play now. A third down at 7 coming for the Titans. Titans lead 7-0 on the first drive of the series. Ball batted down. They're trying to get the ball off to Andy Blatt to get him some running on the outside. Nice defense by the Lutes.
Again, only a four-man rush by the Lutes. Plenty of time, but that was a design play to try to send the receivers up the field and get the ball to Andy, because they had Andy isolated one-on-one with a linebacker, and in parlance of coaches, that's a racehorse being covered by a plow horse, and you can see number 8 was kind of trying to come out there and cover.
As we take a look at the punt now, Matt Roebuck not getting much distance on his first punt. We'll get a second opportunity here. This one's low as well. It's a bounce though, and there'll be no return. This could be down deep inside Lute territory. It rolls down inside to the 7-yard line.
That was a very fortunate Titan bounce, but those are the kind of things you get on the carpet. On the field we played on last week, that ball was just sunk in the ground and never moved again. But the carpet does give you the bounce. And again, Matt is not punting well today. He is struggling a little bit. Hopefully he can get that straightened out, because I watched him in warm-ups and he was doing a fine job.
We have a timeout called on the field. With a timeout in the field, we'll take our own timeout here. The Titans lead 7-0 here on your Westminster College production of National Championship football on the KVL Sports Network.
Westminster College ranks among the best liberal arts colleges and universities in the country, not just the region, but in the country. According to U.S. News & World Report in its annual Best Colleges in America issue, Westminster's reputation, selectivity, faculty, and financial resources, graduation rate, and alumni satisfaction combine to place it among the country's elite liberal arts colleges. For more information about Westminster or to schedule a campus visit, contact the Office of Admissions at 946-7100.
Happy holidays from all the Cable 9 staff at Westminster College. These are all broadcast communication students, except for Coach Fusco and myself and our chief engineer, Chuck Shirazi. All the rest of the production today on KBL are Westminster College broadcast communications majors. Experience at its best on the firing line here from Portland, Oregon, and a great game so far. As the Titans have the Lutes in excellent field position, Hoseth will have to start from the 7-yard line. Nowhere to go, maybe a yard or two, Coach.
Well, again, if they're going to run the football, as I said, they've got to go north and south, and I thought that was a very fine play that they called. They're in a very, very serious field position problem here. But knowing Frosty, don't be too surprised if we don't get a double reverse pass or some trick play here. He's not going to sit on the football even in this territory.
So a gain of maybe 2 on the play. It'll be second down and 8. The ball now out at the 9-yard line as the Titans have pushed the Lutes back defensively with a nice roll on the punt from Matt Roebuck. From the shotgun, Hoseth looking, steps out of trouble, goes downfield long, and the ball will fall incomplete. It was intended down there.
There's our replay coming up. That was Gavin Stanley it was intended for. Here's the replay. Again, 4-man rush. Forced him out of the pocket a little bit. You see when I talk about giving him busy feet. Those feet are always moving. Good quarterback must move his feet, but not in that fashion, and I think that's what the Titans have got to keep doing today.
And so now it's going to be a 3rd down play and 8. As the Titans are hoping to hold here, the Lutes looking for some kind of conversion to keep their drive alive here deep in their own territory, not wanting to give the ball back to the Titans. Stepping up, good pressure from behind. The Titans will get the sack, and the Lutes will be probably punting from their own end zone.
Again, excellent pressure, not hard pressure, but just steady pressure. You don't get hard pressure from a 4-man rush. At that time, Mark Biggin and Craig Villwock met at the quarterback, and that's one of the places you do like to meet. But there you see Honig and Germanowski trying to push. There they are pushing him out of the pocket, and there are 2 defensive ends meeting at the quarterback. If we have a few more meetings like that today, I think the Titans will be very successful.
And the Titans will force Frisch to punt out of the back of the end zone. And they should get the ball back in excellent field position as the Titan returners stand at the 38-yard line of the Lutes. Here's the punt. It's going to be picked up by McLean at the 45. Cuts, gets a block, and then runs into a lot of Lute defenders. The Titans will be set up at the 42-yard line.
Again, steady play by the Titan specialty team. Nothing outstanding, but catch the ball. Don't let it bounce. Don't lose field position. Don't give up the ball. Here comes the replay again. See, the Titans had a double safety that time because we didn't want the ball to hit the floor and start bouncing around, as you saw happen when Roebuck punted the ball earlier.
And the Titans are set to go here. And we have a timeout in the field. We'll take this timeout. The Titans lead 7-0. You're watching a Westminster College production of NAIA Championship football on the KBL Sports Network.
What do you think all these are for, huh, cutie? These are for all your toys. And this one is for the plumber. Remember when Daddy tried to turn the kitchen into a swimming pool?
If your bills are piling up, maybe it's time to think about a consolidation loan from First Western Bank. All you have to do to apply is pick up the phone and call.
You don't happen to have a couple thousand hidden underneath the crib, do you?
And we're back as we look at the crowd of Portland, Oregon. Not a very big part of that crowd from the Westminster Titans down in the 34-yard line of the Pack Lutes. McNeil will be in motion, number 14 to the top of your screen. O'Shea back to pass, goes down for McNeil. And the ball will fall incomplete, and now it's a fourth down for the Titans.
There again, you saw a two-linebacker blitz. Ruby, the second leading defender, and Benedict put the pressure on that time. O'Shea had to pull up, took a lick, just could not get out, and also, of course, Trevor White put a nice hit on the Titan receiver.
Gave Tim McNeil no chance to get the ball. Now fourth down at the 34-yard line. See if the Titans will elect to try to punt it out of bounds or go for it here. I think they're going for it. Darin Coast will come off. McNeil will be out to the right. Andy Blatt in the backfield. We have an extra receiver in the backfield now. That's Eric Russell. He's going to be to the top of your screen. Timeout in the field. With timeout in the field, the Titans have called a timeout. 11 minutes to play here in the first half. The Titans lead at 7-0. A fourth down play coming up. You're watching a Westminster College production of NAIA Championship football on the KBL Sports Network.
Since its founding in 1852, Westminster College has been dedicated to a solid foundation in today's most crucial social, cultural, and ethical issues. As a student, you'll be encouraged to think critically, communicate effectively, and participate in a dynamic and complex world. In other words, you'll discover that Westminster is a great place to begin shaping your future. For more information about Westminster or to schedule a campus visit, contact the Office of Admissions at 946-7100.
Some of those signs have come, well, they have all come from Western Pennsylvania. They were at the football fields throughout the season, and they came all the way to Portland, Oregon, and they're hanging here in Civic Stadium. The Titans, the big fourth down play. I'm Dave Barner along with Joe Flesko along the Titan Football Network today. The pitch. Andy Blatt has to get outside. He will get the first down. He's out of bounds down at the 28-yard line. The Titans will get the first down there. They only needed to get to the 32. Titans will keep the drive going.
That's another play the Titans put in this week. It's called the pop option. You fake to the fullback up the middle. The linebackers for PLU like to flow with the play, and when that fullback hits up the middle, they take the bait. And then O'Shea came down the line, pitched the ball, and if you go notice again, Trevor White was one-on-one with Andy Blatt again, and Andy won the contest. Big fourth down play for the Titans. Excellent call.
McNeil in motion again. This time we'll go to Andy Blatt, who only gets a couple. Tripped up at the line of scrimmage, gets down to the 28-yard line for maybe a gain of 1.
That was an inside trap. It's off the Buck series. The pulling guard is trying to pull and trap the down tackle over the opposite guard. The Mike linebacker that time, Benedict, stepped right up, real tough, and we were unable to block him, and so Andy was caught. Titans do have an excellent pass off of that same play. Let's see if they come back with it in the future here.
Second down and 10 from the Lute 28-yard line. Titans lead 7-0 here in the second period. 10:18 to go in a halftime. Downfield to Eric Russell. Not enough for the first down. Down at the 23-yard line.
Let's see where they give him forward progress. They're marking it about the 22, 23-yard line.
They'll need to get down to the 18 for the first down.
Excellent play. Just a quick rhythm pass from the shotgun. Normally, O'Shea would take that snap under the center and take 3 steps. By lining up in the shotgun and throwing the same pass, you do get a chance to look at the secondary a little bit longer.
Now it's going to be a third down play for the Titans. 3rd and 4. Shotgun again for O'Shea.
Looks to the end zone. McNeil. Can he bring it in? He does.
Yes.
Touchdown.
There it is. One-on-one coverage. And as I said earlier in the game, John Howell's in for a long afternoon, folks. And he just cannot cover that man one-on-one all afternoon unless PLU is willing to blitz more. And again, Timmy is a class sprinter, an outstanding athlete, and the Titans had planned all week that they were going to go up the field, challenge those people one-on-one. Excellent there. You see Nate Armstrong having an excellent pass today and an outstanding catch by Tim.
What a heck of a catch in the back of the end zone.
Well, it was as good as the one he made against Tiffin with no time on the clock.
Willie Woods, also from Greenville High School, will pick the extra point. It's up, it's good. And the Titans lead it now 14-0 here at Civic Stadium, Portland, Oregon. You're watching a Westminster College production of NAIA Championship football with the Titans leading 14-0. We'll take this time out on the KVL Sports Network.
Does it seem like once you apply for a loan, it's hard to get your bank off the dime? Well, Integra Bank has quick turnaround because we know you want a fast answer. And before you know it, you've got the loan you need for times like these. You know, now you can apply for a loan just by calling Integra Bank. Guess money really does talk. Hey, it writes, too. Call 1-800-3-INTEGRA to apply for the loans you need for times like these at Integra Bank.
Now we take a look at the hillside here at Portland. We understand this is going to be the warmest day perhaps in Portland history for this time of the year. Temperatures to climb into the 60s. Coach Flesko and I are in our suit jackets today. No coats necessary. The rain stopped around noontime after pouring for several days here. It's a great day for football, and especially great for the 150 Titan fans and the thousands watching along the Titan Football Network here as the Titans are leading at 14-0, looking towards a national championship. A run back, getting outside, getting running room. Nice move and a nice run back there.
Ben Hunt, that was Ben Hunt, number 10. Again, the Titans are trying to kick the ball short, keeping it away from the two threats deep, and in that case, they kicked it to Hunt, and he just took the ball up the field. Earlier, our kickoff was out of bounds. PLU had the ball 1st and 10 on their 35. Now they have the ball 1st and 10 on the 40.
The Titans lead at 14-0. Pac Lutheran won this game last year 50-20, but not quite the explosive offense with the Lutes. Their outstanding quarterback graduated, but they've been putting up 20-plus points a game themselves on the scoreboard this year. That was on the carpet, I thought, but no one called it.
No, I thought it was a completed pass, David, but again, that was an unbalanced line. 3 receivers to the top of the screen with the motion man. Throw the ball out. It was a, what you call a quick screen. Try to get the ball out to the receiver. There it is, you see, right there, and try to get people out to block for him. Outstanding job by Todd McClain. He just came up, sat down, and waited for the runner to make a break. 2nd down and about 12.
McClain's number 23 on their screen.
Unbalanced line again.
The Lutes with 2nd down and 12. Passing downfield, we see that what would look like the 1st down marker. I think it will be a 1st down at the 50 for the Lutes.
That's the same play they tried earlier in the 1st quarter, but our outside linebacker was able to jump on the tight end. That time, they didn't line up in a tight end offense. They went unbalanced line. They put the receiver out wide. They faked the run to the short side of the field. The quarterback came up and tried to hit them on what we call a quick pop pass. Excellent call.
And Stewin's been a popular receiver today for Josef on getting in critical plays. On the ground.
Fumble. Titans have it, I believe. I believe the Titans have the ball.
See who comes out of the bottom of this pile. I understand it's quite a war under there when this is going on right now. Timeout by the officials.
Titans football. Another great opportunity for the Titans. A turnover. The runner made about 4 yards up the field. I think that was Josh Requay that fumbled the football for the Lutes. And I didn't see who recovered it. I think it may have been Craig Mills. Jumped on the ball, but the Titans have the ball now.
Let's watch the
Excellent
replay.
fielding. There's the balls on the carpet. You can't really see. Everyone's scrambling for it. The Titans have got to take advantage of this and get on the board again.
8:13 to play here in the first half. Titans lead by a score of 14-0, threatening to add more on the board here. Sean O'Shea over center, McNeil in motion. Back and forth. Andy Blatt gets outside, has a hole, has a blocker, and he will have the first down easily into Lute territory at the 43-yard line.
Again, that's the dive veer. That is the dive veer. Andy starts over left tackle, made the break all the way back over the right guard. And it's an opportunity to force PLU to move the line of scrimmage. There you see him going. There you see us. Everyone got their hands out, got on people. You saw number 74, Nate Armstrong, Mark Dana, everyone just pushing the defense wherever they want to go.
First and 10 Titans in Lute territory at the 43-yard line. Titans lead 14-0. Andy Blatt is not going to find anywhere to go. He's going to lose on that. A loss of about 7 on the play.
That was an isolation play, and the linebacker step up and just stuffed the lead blocker, knocked him back into Andy Blatt, and Andy was unable to make the move. I'd like to make a note of one. There it is. You see the number 33 gets stuffed in the hole, Darin Coast, and there was just no running it. The offensive coaches are doing a great job too of substituting. We're moving offensive linemen in and out of the game right now. 71 Kirk Bloomberg is in the game. 75 Jason Swiger is in the game. This is what we're going to need. As you know, the Lutes come with their rush defense. Their rush defense is in there right now. They're going to try to put quick pressure on with the little guys.
They get out to Tim McNeil, but his knee was on the carpet when he caught the ball, so he could not run. A gain of 5 on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Again, the rush defense is just something that they feel they have to do. They bring in 47 and 48. These two men line up. They'll do a lot of twisting. That means they'll X in behind each other. There you can see them on the field. Both 47 and 48 are lining up over our guards. And they feel because of their quickness and agility, they can get a rush. If the Titans get in the position where they can run the ball, don't be too surprised if they run against those lighter people.
3rd down and 10. From razzle-dazzle here, Mark Ruckner has blocked it. And he will not get the first down. It's going to be no gain on the play after all the razzle-dazzle.
Again,
I thought looked like he was going to pass the ball.
Well, 22 Hamill, he said, you fooled me once on the halfback pass. Timmy McNeil, you're not going to fool me twice. He's man-to-man. He's covering McNeil all over the field, and he did not suck up on the run fake. But it was a great play. It's great to see the Titans. Great to see the Titans do that sort of thing. Keeps everybody loose.
There's a whistle on the play here. Roebuck will get a heck of a punt here, but this isn't going to be anything.
Again, Casey Hancock's one of our punt team people jumped offside. If you notice the PLU people try like heck to jump their defenses. There's Sean O'Shea. He evidently had his jersey ripped off, and they're trying to get him another jersey. We'll have to make sure what his number is going to be. He's on the phone right now talking to Coach Sean Kelly.
Titans lead 14-0.
See if Matt Roebuck can get off a better punt. Although if they roll like the last one, we'll take it.
Not able to capitalize in good field position again, though. These Lutes defenders are all over the place, moving. This one's going to go to the sidelines. Roll gets another good roll. And the Titans are going to let it roll, stays in bounds, and stops at the 10-yard line.
Another Titan roll. Now, that was a much better punt. What the Lutes are trying to do by jumping back and forth, David, is to confuse the blocking of the punt team. We punt by numbers, and they think that they can get a better rush on. But our people stayed right in there and blocked very well. An excellent punt by Matt Roebuck.
And the Lutes will be starting in their own deep end of the field again.
I would like the audience to remember field position is so important. The Lutes have had a very poor field position 2 or 3 times, and the best they had was starting at their own 40-yard line.
Now the Titan defense trying to take advantage of this nice punt. Keep PLU deep. Consolidation gets outside and has a great run and really broke it for a touchdown out to the 33-yard line.
That time it was nothing but the what we call the wing T sweep, and they were able to knock Villwock off his feet and were able to get to the outside and pick up a big gain. There you go, you see. There's Villwock 88 just getting up. We missed a tackle there. Joey Allison missed a tackle from his halfback position, and so did Barry.
So now the Lutes get out of trouble and have a little bit of momentum here with this great run by Finstuen. They'll give it to Finstuen again.
Play.
And he gets good yardage on that. Another first down for the Lutes. Out to the 45-yard line. Make it the 44-yard line, but enough for a first down.
Similar play going to the right. Remember I talked about going east and west before. The Titans were running very, very well along the line of scrimmage and cutting off his angles up the field. But now they're chopping, they're blocking very well. You see an excellent block there by Requi, knocking our defensive end off his feet. And they're able to get outside and then break the seam.
So first and 10 Lutes. Lutes trail 14-0 here. 4:14 to go in the first half.
Unbalanced line.
Try inside with the run. And carrying that time was Requi.
Josh was the young man who had the fumble in the last series, but and he was also the young man that had the great block on the sweep. These youngsters are going to make some mistakes, but I tell you, they're here because they're very competitive people, and I know PLU is not going to roll over even though the Titans are up 14-0. The Titans are going to have to play very good defense, try to keep PLU off the board before halftime. Again, unbalanced line.
At the 49-yard line, second down and 5. Not enough for the first down.
Third and about 1.5 yards to 2 yards. Again, that time we had pressure up the field by Jason Servone. Was able to get to the running before he can make his break up the field.
The Lutes have been in Westminster territory several times today, but have not been able to capitalize.
Big play for the Titans right here. Again, unbalanced line, wing T.
Finstuen in motion. Will get the carry. Has enough for the first down. The Titans react quickly, but not quick enough to stop the first down play. First and 10 Lutes at the 45.
Just got enough for the first down. Had that been a first down play, that would have been an excellent defense for the Titans. That time we were able to run the line of scrimmage, not give him an angle up the field, as you can see there. Wetzel, number 2, number 88, Villwock, they were able to shut down the seams. But he only needed 2 yards, and he got the first down.
Down to the 44-yard line of the Titans. Titans lead it 14-0. 2:31 to play here in the first half. So the clock is working against the Lutes right now as well. Pass downfield. Finstuen gets the reception for what might be enough for the first down. We'll see where they spot the ball. Looks about a yard short, but nonetheless almost broke it. He is so close to have broken a couple touchdowns here.
Again, that's the play that they like to run, where they fake the off-tackle play and then they throw the pop pass. There's the quarterback bouncing up. The only way that play can be defeated is for the outside linebacker, either Wetzel or Servone, to really stifle that receiver on the line of scrimmage and then drop inside of him. That time Wetzel was caught up the field.
Second down and less than a yard. Working out of the shotgun. The Lutes. Quick pressure. They have the first down to Finstuen. He has running room. This could be a touchdown. A saving tackle there by McLean. Put the ball inside the Westminster 10 and around the 8-yard line.
That is the underneath screen. They just run all the receivers up the field. They bring Finstuen back underneath. The linemen go downfield because they're allowed to block. The Titan linemen rushed up the field trying to get pressure on the quarterback, and they were unable to do that. There it is. He's Actually, you couldn't see that, but all the offensive linemen for PLU were 5 yards downfield, but they are allowed, as long as the pass is caught behind the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be second. It's going to be first and goal from the 6-yard line for the Titans. Stewart looks to go outside, has room to the end zone.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
It's a touchdown. The old-fashioned wing T sweep. That's all it was. And all the PLU is doing is getting out, standing up in their blocks, keeping the Westminster linemen from getting up the field, flattening them out, and then giving Fitzstewart that time took the outside. There you go. Just got to the corner, the end zone, and scored. That's a big score for PLU right before the half. It has to give them some life. They were down 14-zip. It was a nice drive, and I'm sure they're going to go in at halftime now feeling that they're back in this ball game.
Mike Safford is the extra point kicker. Kick up. It's good. It's 14-7. The Titan lead is down 2-7 here, as this Westminster College production of NAIA Championship football will continue in a minute on the KBL Sports Network.
Addition of a new physical fitness center and a major facelift for the football stadium top the list of the current and future improvements to Westminster College's athletic facilities. Both are part of the college's $35 million capital campaign called A Heritage for Westminster. The new stadium complex, to be named after the late Dr. Harold E. Burry, Westminster head football coach for 20 years, will include an improved natural grass playing surface, a synthetic track, increased seating, and a new press box. For more information or to make a contribution, call 946-7370.
And the kickoff. And the return out to the 34-yard line.
That was Dominic Verdini. Again, it was a short kick. Dominic, the Titans were trying to set up a left return, but when the kick went outside the hash to the right, Dominic did the right thing. He just took the ball up the field, put 2 hands around it just before he was hit, and tried to preserve the football. Notice the jersey on O'Shea. He has now become number 7. He had his jersey ripped off, and they had to get a new jersey for O'Shea, so he is number 7.
Titans have 1 minute 3 seconds to work here in the first half to try to get back on the board. We'll go with Andy Blatt. Andy Blatt has blocking. Andy Blatt has enough for a Titan first down at the 45-yard line. Clock down to 56 seconds.
There's a first down. The clock will stop to move the chains. The Titans are lined up. They're going with their hurry-up offense. Evidently, they decided they get a good gain on the first play. They're going to try to get another score on the board before half.
Clock down to 52 seconds and running here at Civic Stadium, Portland. Titans lead 14-7. O'Shea making the play call at the line of scrimmage. And O'Shea will be sacked.
Nate Armstrong that time was beat, our left tackle. Got beat on the rush by number 7, Riddell. They've got their speed rushers in there. They got 47, 48. They got number 7 in there. Titans called timeout.
Titans called timeout. They have 23 seconds to work. They lead 14-7 back after this timeout. The Westminster College production of NAIA Championship football continues in a moment on the KBL Sports Network.
Well, I don't suppose we could live with an avocado refrigerator and stove, right?
You absolutely hate the cupboards?
Hate is kind of mild, dear.
The floor isn't so bad, is it?
Not if you're into 60 speckled linoleum.
If you were thinking about doing a bit of remodeling, call First Western Bank first. You can apply for a home equity loan over the phone at 1-800-559-2299.
How about the sink?
How about the dumpster?
Well, welcome back here. The Titans are trying to use their hurry-up offense to get down the field and score, leading 14-7. The ball right now at the Titan 41-yard line with 23 seconds to play. They're used to this situation, winning the game at Tiffin with only 20 seconds to play, trailing. And O'Shea will get out of bounds. He's wearing number 7 now, just joining us. The 11 jersey is no more.
Sean had the jersey ripped right off his back, and I saw equipment man Bob Aiken sprinting across the field there to grab another jersey.
And the Titans will take another timeout here. 14 seconds to play in the first half. We'll be back after this.
No, they didn't call a time. They didn't call a timeout. They just, because the play clock is running. There's 14 seconds on the to snap the football. The ball will not, the clock will not start until the ball is snapped, since O'Shea went out of bounds. But the play clock is running with 3 seconds.
Here's the snap. Up to Bruckner. Has the first down. Clock continues to run. We'll stop now at 9 seconds with the first down play.
It stopped because it's a first down. They'll move the sticks. Titans will line up.
Time for 1, maybe 2 more plays here.
Well, O'Shea, I think, will spike the ball here, take a step back and throw the ball down. I believe that's what he will do.
Clock at 9 here. Titans lead. There's the spike. And now the Titans will have the full time to talk things over here. And perhaps the long throw to the end zone again, Coach.
Well, I don't know what they're going to try to do, but that spike rule went into effect about 1988. And again, it was put in to enable the quarterback to stop the clock without throwing the ball out of bounds and having the official call a throw the ball away penalty, grounding the ball. And it's really helped the offense. There's 9 seconds on the running clock here before to get the snap off.
Look at the reverse angle shot there of Sean O'Shea from the Titans sideline. O'Shea, the clock will run down to 0. That is the end of the first half. The Titans not able to use a hurry-up offense and get downfield. So we have played 1 half of play here at Civic Stadium, and the Titans have won the battle by a score of 14-7 at the end of the first half. Now we're going to take this timeout so our local cable affiliates can take a timeout on the KBL Sports Network.
The recent addition of a new physical fitness center and a major facelift for the football stadium top the list of the current and future improvements to Westminster College's athletic facilities. Both are part of the college's $35 million capital campaign called A Heritage for Westminster. The new stadium complex, to be named after the late Dr. Harold E. Burry, Westminster head football coach for 20 years, will include an improved natural grass playing surface, a synthetic track, increased seating, and a new press box. For more information or to make a contribution, call 946-7370.
The NAIA was the first association to provide championship opportunities for both men and women, establishing a women's division in 1980. And the NAIA, with the adoption of stringent academic eligibility legislation in 1987, became the only intercollegiate athletic association to require that all participating student athletes exhibit constant progress toward an academic degree to maintain eligibility. And that is the NAIA definition of success.
All the behind-the-scenes positions for today's TV broadcast, from camera to director, are held by Westminster College broadcast communications majors. Broadcast instruction from professionals in the field, plus extensive hands-on experience in both radio and television, can be found close to home. Be part of the action in the future. Learn more about broadcasting at Westminster College. For more information, contact the Westminster College admissions office.
You know, now you can apply for a loan just by calling Integra Bank. Guess money really does talk. Hey, it writes, too. Call 1-800-3-INTEGRA to apply for the loans you need for times like these at Integra Bank. You know, if you had a nickel for every one of the thousands of loans...
Well, welcome back here. I'm Dave Barner along with Coach Joe Fusco as the Titans lead 14-7 at halftime. And Coach, your analysis, a quick look at the first half. How are things going for the Titans as far as their strategies?
Well, so far, Titans have 2 trick plays. PLU, other than the underneath screen, really have not come off the board with anything special. I think PLU has gone to their very conservative sweep offense off the wing tee, and that's what got them back in the ball game. I think the Titans are playing very aggressively. They're getting to the quarterback with a 4-man rush. The secondary is taking away some of the zones. So I think that what we're going to see in the second half is a continuation of much of what we saw the first half. But more importantly, I think you're going to see PLU probably come out, try to put the ball up in the air a little bit more, but stick pretty much to their wing tee concept off the unbalanced line.
When we come back in the halftime activities, we'll take a look at the first half stats, and we'll give you a look at them and see how things are going. We have been talking a lot about the Westminster football and athletic program, but Westminster is also well known for its academic tradition. Let's show the folks at home a little bit about Westminster College on championship football coverage on NAIA on KBL.
You don't feel like you're lost in time here. You feel like you know what's going on with the world, and that what you're doing here does matter. The fact that you're getting an education is important.
It is expected that you are going to know your students and that you are going to work with them and that they're not going to slip through the cracks.
So there's tons to do at Westminster College. It's what you make of it. It's what you put into it, is what you get out of it.
We have a faculty whose primary interest and primary purpose is to teach.
We have a special place. We just want to show it off.
Nestled in the small residential town of New Wilmington in northwestern Pennsylvania, Westminster's 300 rolling acres are home to over 1,500 students. This peaceful and safe campus has provided a haven for learning for more than 147 years. Westminster has been recognized 4 years in a row by U.S. News and World Report as one of the best regional liberal arts colleges in the country. Both Money Magazine and Barron's rank Westminster one of the best educational values in the nation. Westminster takes pride in protecting and expanding this superior tradition of excellence in the liberal arts. The college's religious perspective and heritage of faith makes the Westminster experience unique. Westminster strives to make that experience accessible. Students come from all ethnic backgrounds, creating a diverse atmosphere on campus.
I always went where I felt comfortable, whether it is to associate with black students, with white students, with Hispanic students. And as I said before, I felt very comfortable here, and I felt that I can still express myself as a black woman, and I didn't have to shy away from that or feel like I would have to inhibit myself in any way.
I see Westminster students being a very integral part in the rapidly changing world. This is certainly no pun, but as the world moves with jet-like speed, our students are not moving at horse and buggy pace. And I think because of their willingness to be open to suggestion and entertain cultural diversity and see it as a very integral part of their education, they're going to be much stronger people, much more sensitive people as we move into the next century.
Them to grow in those ways.
Westminster students are filled with curiosity and genuine spirit. They immerse themselves in this long-standing tradition of excellence and pursue knowledge in and beyond the classroom. With a foundation of traditional educational values, Westminster offers several special programs that set the college apart. Every 4 years, a mock political convention is held, one of the oldest collegiate conventions in the country. Provoking political fervor and enthusiasm, the convention entails research and educational involvement, as well as fun and excitement. Westminster offers several innovative opportunities for study. The QUEST program is an interdisciplinary approach to the study of civilization. The courses blend history, music, science, politics, religion, and the arts to give various points of view on the humanities.
Students say, I see things now, I see aspects of the human condition that I don't think I would have seen had it not been for what Quest accomplished.
The academic year is divided into 3 terms: fall, spring, and the innovative 4-week January term. This academic calendar is known as the 4-1-4 program. During January, students concentrate on a single course not offered during the academic year. This is a time set aside for exploration of learning methods, team teaching, non-traditional subject matter, and off-campus projects.
We take students to the islands for a month, and in that time we have a very intensive field biology. We live outdoors, we camp, we cook, we do our own grocery shopping, and something that comes out of that besides biology is just learning about life. Students come back and they say, I've learned a lot of biology, but I've learned more about myself than I ever had before in that same amount of time.
The internship program provides students a chance to learn in an actual work setting that reflects their career aspirations. Westminster's study abroad options allow students to expand their cultural horizons through international travel and study opportunities.
We went to Sachsenhausen concentration camp and to walk around there, or to be in Berlin and see the raw mark in the middle of the city where the wall used to be. You know, it's just this scar, literally, that runs right through the heart of Berlin. Or to go to London and walk through Westminster Abbey and to see Poets' Corner, or to stand beside the tomb of Edward III, you know, the hammer of the Scots, and just to experience that kind of thing is just so wonderful. And I think what it does is it puts flesh on your learning. You know, you really begin to understand, I think, at a far greater depth when you go through those kinds of experiences.
Westminster is a place to explore the arts. The arts program features a variety of internships, and many graduates go on to regional and national success.
It's so neat because not only are you learning about acting when you're a theater major, but you learn about computers and you learn about human behavior because you're studying people and you're studying the way people behave. And you learn everything. You learn about history when you research your character. It's incredible. You learn so much just by having that hands-on experience.
Westminster offers an outstanding program in athletics for both men and women. A member of the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics, NAIA, and the Western Pennsylvania Intercollegiate Soccer Conference, Westminster sponsors 14 intercollegiate teams in baseball, basketball, cross country, football, golf, soccer, softball, swimming, tennis, track and field, and volleyball. Every year, Westminster men and women compete in national swimming competitions. Westminster's football teams have been ranked in the top 20 small colleges 12 times in the past 15 years and are 5-time NAIA Division II National Champions.
Well, anytime you compete in an athletic event or in a debate or any type of extracurricular activity, I think you're forced to go beyond the normal means of your capabilities. You're forced to think under pressure. You're forced to react under pressure. And oftentimes, you can't create the same atmosphere in a classroom. And we certainly hope that the experiences our people gain in athletic contests will help them as they go on in their later life.
Here at Westminster, the coaches are always worried about your academics. Every time I run into a coach on campus, he's always asking me how my classes are going, worried about what my grades are. They're always more worried about your academics than they are your athletics. To them, academics are always first and athletics are second.
The college's many extracurricular organizations and activities contribute to the vitality of campus life. A vibrant community with something for every student. Students serve as volunteers, participate in clubs, or manage other campus activities, such as the Down Under, the college's non-alcoholic pub.
And considering that we're in a rural area, the students need a place that they can come and relax. Every weekend we show first run, even pre-released videos down here. And these are movies that they select. The students do all the programming down here. We have a committee that looks at all the videos and they decide what they want. You just can't put a price on a non-alcoholic pub.
Graduates of quality liberal arts colleges like Westminster typically have impressive records in career placement. Because of their educational background and versatility, they are in demand. Of our graduates who apply to the country's top medical and law schools, more than 90% are accepted. Overall, Westminster graduates can look forward to a bright future.
The programs that I was involved in Westminster, some of the leadership programs, and even the curriculum itself, I think really had a lot to do with preparing me for postgraduate school, the medical profession, which I'm going into. And I think what Westminster does, in a lot of ways, is it helps you to combine leadership and teamwork, along with academic skills that they give you.
The importance of a broad and general education is that we live in a world in which you will be educated for specific tasks you can't even conceive of now, but you will be educated throughout your life. I think you need some period of time in which you learn to be a student, and I think that's what a good education should do for you.
Westminster is clearly an institution with purpose, contemporary perspectives, traditional values, personal commitment, and a belief in excellence.
My fellow students, we are engaged in helping you to become a complete human being, and that process is not yet finished. That's why we are going to insist here at Westminster that our graduates know what a human being at his or her best can do and do well. That's why we will persist in the liberal arts, because we have such a regard for the sanctity and the potential of the human spirit.
This is more than just a place where a college is. This is a home to a lot of us. And it is contemporary, and it does show you what the world's like and things you can expect out there. But it also gives you more than just books and notes and dorm rooms. You know, there's a lot to do here, and there's a lot of energy here, and you can meet some lifelong friends here.
This is what I want. This is what I want out of life, is to feel a part of something, and Westminster makes me feel a part of something.
And welcome back. I'm Dave Barner along with Coach Joe Flesko, and you can see the score at halftime. It's 14-7 Titans. The Titans have a score in each period. Pacific Lutheran comes back near the end of the first half to get their first score, so it's anybody's ball game right now, Coach.
Well, it certainly is. The statistics are so close for the first half, it's unbelievable. That last drive by Pacific Lutheran really put them back in this ball game, and I'm sure they're going to come out with a little bit of fire since they get the kickoff in the second half.
Well, we'll take a look at the first half stats here. We don't have them for the screen for you, but we can give them to you verbally here by Titan Athletic Director Joe Flesko.
Well, like I said, it's very, very close. Both teams have 9 first downs. Westminster has 5 rushing and 4 passing. PLU has 3 rushing and 6 passing. Both teams have very close in the yardage rushing. Westminster 70, PLU 75. Passing, Westminster 117 yards, PLU 103. And O'Shea is 7 for 16, and Holseth is 10 for 16. The big thing is total yards gained, 187 for Westminster, 178 for PLU. The 2 turnovers have really helped the Titans, and I think that's the important thing that we've got to look at, is the fact that PLU turned the ball over twice in the first half, and Westminster jumped on that. They gained field position and eventually scored.
Coach, when we come back after this timeout, I want to talk about your new athletic facilities. You're building a new football program, a new field, new athletic facilities for the basketball team as well. We'll do this next after we take this timeout. The score at halftime, 14-7, Westminster leads. You're watching a Westminster College Cable 9 production of Championship Football, NAIA from Portland, Oregon, on the KBL Sports Network.
the behind-the-scenes positions for today's TV broadcast from camera to director are held by Westminster College broadcast communications majors. Broadcast instruction from professionals in the field, plus extensive hands-on experience in both radio and television, can be found close to home. Be part of the action in the future. Learn more about broadcasting at Westminster College. For more information, contact the Westminster College admissions office.
And I'm very proud to say that the broadcast today are those broadcast communications majors, except the two of us. Obviously, we're a little too old to be, behind the camera.
I'm going to ask for a GED and see if I can be classified as an announcer also.
Well, we understand that you're very busy right now, Joe Flesko, Chair and Athletic Director of the Athletic Department, with some new facilities, a new campaign to make the athletic program at Westminster even a little bit better.
Well, Dave, you know, we are part of the capital campaign, and one of the things that we are working on right now is to expand the Fieldhouse facilities. We just completed a beautiful new physical fitness center, around $350,000, and also renovated some of the bleachers in the Fieldhouse for basketball. We're hoping to expand our locker facilities so that we can take care of all of our students, and that project is going to cost around $2 million. And then, of course, we're also working to renovate the football facility with a new all-weather track as well as a new playing surface. That facility will be named in honor of Harold Burry, and we are trying to raise about $2.2 million for that project. So it's been a rather busy time the last 2.5 years, but with the caliber of athletic programs we have at Westminster College and the things that we want to do for our students, we think it's necessary that we improve our facilities in the very near future.
Well, the Titans have a great tradition here for the championship battle in the past 2 years. Last year, the Westminster Titans went to Tulsa, Oklahoma in basketball. The women's volleyball team going into the finals this year. So it has been a great tradition. We hear the horn here, which indicates the second half is about to start. So we'll take a look at the field here as the score at halftime is Westminster 14. The Pacific Lutheran Lutes are trailing by a score of 14-7. As we take a look at Tim McNeil, who will do the kickoff duties. That's Dar Huey, the defensive coordinator, with him. The Titans will be kicking off to start the second half, which is a little bit of an advantage for Pacific Lutheran, of course. If they can come right back here now and score off this kickoff, it's a brand new ball game.
Well, the score, without a doubt, right before half, had to give them life, had to make them feel that, yes, they can move the ball on the ground. They feel they can definitely throw the football. As I said, Halseth was 10 for 16 the first half. So they do have, they've been reinvigorated. Titans are going to have to get the ball down the field and reestablish the defense.
We're ready for the second half, live from Portland, Oregon, on Cable 9, Cable 10, and of course the KBL Sports Network all over Western Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Eastern Ohio. The carry is Wyrick, and we'll get out to around the 32-yard line. So again, not bad position to start here.
No, it is not bad position. They've had better position to start their offense, but they're ready to go. And as I can say, I'm anxious to see whether they're going to try to reestablish the run or come back out and do some fancy things like they did earlier.
And the lights have come on here at Civic Stadium, which is causing a little problem for the cameras at the moment. As the dark skies have...
That was Reekwick running the ball, the fullback. Again, as I said, it looks to me like I was talking to one of the coaches from the West Coast, the Pacific Northwest, here at halftime, and he said, I think Frosty took over calling the offensive plays late in the game. You know, Frosty's like the rest of us old-timers. Sometimes you, when you get behind, you go back to what brung you to the dance, and what brung PLU is a solid running attack, and it looks like they're going to try to reestablish that.
And they are now out at the 39-yard line with a second down and 5 play, trailing in the ball game by 7. They'll go back to pass this time. Joseph downfield, has the reception, has the first down at the 46-yard line. A nice catch down there and a nice pass play down to Aaron Tang.
Well, again, there's Aaron Tang, running back extraordinaire, receiver extraordinaire. The receivers went down around 11 yards. all of them curled up in the zone. We had good play action pass, which meant that the inside linebackers for the Titans, Mills was not able to get deep, neither was Stargio, and they were able to find that seam between the outside linebacker and the defensive back. 1st and 10 for PLU.
PLU's been moving from their 34-yard line here in the second half. In trouble, Joseph will be stopped, and he's upset because of the big loss in the play and a nice stop of the Titans.
That was an inside linebacker blitz by Harold Stargio. Evidently, PLU expected something else. They flared the tailback breakaway out here to the right. I don't know if they were going to dump him the ball or not, but here comes Stargio. As you can see, he had the blitz on. In his case, that's referred to as a nose X. He's the nose linebacker, and he was untouched.
So now Joseph will go over center after working out of the shotgun the last play. And they will go to the carry by Requay, and he has nowhere to go, and we have a new look in the Titan defense right now.
Brian Germanowski read the draw and was able to sit on the line of scrimmage and make the tackle. Here he is. I think the inside linebacker blitz shocked them. We had not blitzed the linebackers at all the first half, and all of a sudden Harold Stargio came on an X game with the down tackle. The center for PLU blocked way to the left, and Harold was able to get to the quarterback. 3rd and long now for the Titans. They've got to come up with a big defensive play here, force PLU to turn the ball over or go for an incompletion.
Big 3rd down play, and there's penalties everywhere. The center didn't snap the ball. Everybody else moved.
Well, you see those things happen sometimes also. That's sort of reminiscent of some of the people I have breakfast with in the morning. They don't move too well either. I'd like to say hello to my New Wilmington breakfast group. And again, thank you for my wealth of football knowledge. Your help has been great to me over the years, and I appreciate your efforts.
Well, obviously the center had a different snap count than the rest of the team. And he looks kind of standing out there all by himself with the ball.
3rd and 25. Shotgun. There's the draw again. And Brian Germanowski had another great football play. Another great football play by Brian Germanowski. He's a senior defensive tackle, 4-year letterman. He's a biology major, an outstanding student, and really a dedicated athlete and a dedicated student. And 2 big plays in a row.
I want to take a moment to remind the people that today's broadcast by Westminster College, we'll let you talk about the play first.
Well, that was a draw play off of the shotgun. And again, you can run plays, many plays from the shotgun, and that was one of the ones there that was not as effective.
We want to remind you that today's broadcast by Westminster College on KVL is made possible by private donations. You'll see them pop on your screen once in a while. Those are all alumni and supporters of Westminster College who have made our trip out here to Portland at all the cost of the production possible so that you can sit at home and enjoy, hopefully, a Titan Championship victory. The punt. McLean will call the fair catch, and the Titans will have the ball at the 38-yard line.
Fine choice. That time PLU changed their punt formation. They lined up with 2 wide receivers and 2 men in the slots. Again, they do all these things to force the receiving team to react to different formations. They were planning to punt the ball anyway, but it would have been interesting. They wanted to see how they were going to cover that. And Westminster did a fine job. They were prepared for that, and that appeared in the scouting report also.
We do have a timeout in the field. We're going to hold it right here just for a minute, Coach. The things look like the Titans are responding well in defense here in the second half.
This was a big defensive series, as we talked earlier. The Lutes came off of out of the locker room fired up. They were going to get the ball. They just drove the ball down the field before the half and scored. Westminster responded equally well. Brian Germanowski had 2 great defensive plays in a row. And now O'Shea, with his new number 7, will have an opportunity to get the Titans back in gear.
We want to thank some of the private donators that have made this game possible. Bruce and Merrill, Mr. and Mrs. Robert Bruce, Mr. and Mrs. Frederick Kurtzy, Dewar's Car World, Mr. and Mrs. James Dewar, First Western Bank, Ann Haldeman, are just a couple of the people that are making today's broadcast possible.
And we really appreciate these people's efforts on behalf of Titan football and Titan athletics. It gives everyone in the Western Pennsylvania area a chance to see the Titans on the West Coast.
It is quite a trip out here. It's about a 4.5-hour flight.
Oh, David, you must have been in the jet stream. It's more like 5.5 hours out.
It's a long way out here. About 150, you say, have come out here to support the Titans. Down to Bruckner. He's about maybe 4 or 5 yards downfield, but had to go onto the ground to catch the ball, so couldn't move the ball from there. You can see the shadows here as the lights have come on at Civic Stadium in Portland.
That's a good first down play. You know, anytime you can pick up 4 to 5 yards on first down, it's a good football play. Again, Bruckner's isolated with the corner because they blitzed the linebacker. These three linebackers, 6, 7, and 8, they're going to be blitzing most of the time. They're on the line of scrimmage most of the time, and they're going to try to get pressure on O'Shea.
O'Shea back. Lutes, Sackers. Missed the ball off. Will they call that intentional grounding?
I don't believe. There it's called now.
Was there a person?
Official threw a flag.
I don't think there was anyone.
Official threw the flag late. They're discussing.
When we look at the replay, we'll be able to see if there's anybody in the area of the ball. If there is, he might be able to get away with it. That's what they're checking with right now. Was there anyone in the area?
Yeah, there it is, right there. O'Shea, remember I told you about the linebackers blitzing?
Can't tell because
you can't really tell. The official did pick up his flag. I've seen a lot of mechanics on that play. I saw a group of officials 2 weeks ago probably do it the best. The referee held the flag until the wing official gave him a signal. Then he threw the flag. The flag came late, but he was sure that it was grounding. This time the official threw the flag and had to eat the flag.
3rd down and 6 for the Titans as we look at the reverse angle from the Titans sideline. Sean O'Shea over center. McNeil in motion into your TV set. O'Shea in trouble again. Has to hustle out of bounds to avoid the lick, but he's going to be short of the first down. The Titans will face a 4th down play.
I think we got an idea of what PLU is going to do from now on. They're going to put their ears back and they're going to rush. They're going to bring linebackers all over the field. We have an injury on the field right now. I can't pick up the number for you, but it was one of the young men that had a shot of O'Shea and got spun around on the turf. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
We want to go ahead and finish talking about the rest of the people that make this broadcast possible through private and corporate donations. Integra Financial Corporation, Gemco, Mr. and Mrs. James, the Honorable and Mrs. Glenn McCracken Jr., Mr. and Mrs. Jerome Simon, and Mr. and Mrs. Walter R. Sylvester Jr. all make this broadcast possible, and you'll see their name on the screen periodically throughout the broadcast. Owen Von Flew is the injured player here right now on the sideline, and he's going to be able to get up and move off the field. Hopefully he's going to be okay. You don't want to see a young man injured. Never want to see anyone injured. And certainly not the last game of the season.
Well, Owen Von Flew, number 48, and John Roberts, number 47, are always interjected into the game as the speed rushers. And that's what he was there for, to put pressure on the quarterback, and he certainly did. He got off the ball. He beat our offensive lineman to the gap and was able to force O'Shea out of the pocket. I think what happened when he reached for O'Shea, he got spun around. It looks like they're attending to a laceration he may have on his nose. Rohrbach is called on to punt now here with 4th down and 5.
And the Titans unable to move the ball in their first offensive series. They lead the ball game 14-7 here. Period 3 is 10:42 remaining from Portland Civic Stadium.
Back deep is Riddell, number 7, and number 14, Trevor White.
And the punt will be going off from around the Titan 28-yard line when the snap comes in play here. And the whistle has been blown. We're ready to go as we look at the reverse angle of Matt Rohrbach, the punter for Westminster. Nice punt this time by Matt. Will be picked up by Riddell.
Give you some idea of PLU's quickness. Riddell is a linebacker for PLU, and there he is back returning the punt. So they have great team quickness and very, very good depth on their defense and their offense.
This has really been a defensive struggle this year so far, Coach. Last year was a 50-20 shootout. 14-7 the score here in the third period. It's not a 0-0 score, but certainly a much lower score than we would have anticipated with the kind of offenses these two teams can put up.
Well, the defenses are pretty good also, and that's what has counted.
From the 29-yard line.
There's the play that made them all the money late in the first half. That is a wing T sweep. At that time, the Titans did a fine job not getting knocked off their feet. They got good pressure from Tim Wetzel, the outside linebacker, and they were able to hold the runner to about a 3.5–4 yard gain.
Been Stu in the carrier, as we saw on the screen.
You see, they bring him in motion. He gets a running start, and then they have the two blockers leading him out there, and it's a tough play to defense sometimes. Unbalanced line from PLU to the right.
Second down at 6.
That's the quick screen. The quick screen where they're going to try to get 2 or 3 receivers out in front. Aaron Tang came in motion. He was going to block. Everyone was going to block. They dropped the receiver off the line of scrimmage, and it is a forward pass, not a backward pass. They probably have a backward double pass off of that play. Don't be too surprised if we don't see that play later on today.
I don't know if you can tell on your screen, but it is very, the skies have changed here. They've turned dark, and the rain comes down in sheets right now at Civic Stadium, and this might have an effect as the game continues here. The carpet will get very wet. Setback has lots of protection, goes downfield, but a nice hit on the play.
Excellent
by the Clayton defense.
Craig Mills reached his hand in very quickly there and batted the ball down. And you're right, the rain now coming down will make the ball extremely wet. A wet turf does not bother the ball that much. They put a new ball in every play, but now that ball will be sitting on the turf. It'll be getting a little damp, and receivers will be getting a little wet also.
Look at our press box here where we're sitting. That's our Cable 9 sign. I don't know if people can see us or not. It's very high here, about the height of the Steelers press boxes at Three Rivers. Very nice view of the ball game. Tim McNeil loses the ball. Loose ball, still loose.
I think Tim got a handle on it at the last minute.
You're going to see the first half has been no scoring as we look at head coach Gene Nicholson in the second half so far. McNeil in motion as the rain continues to pour down here at Civic Stadium now. Andy Blatt uses a stiff arm and fights for a first down. Got to give a lot of credit to Andy Blatt for that. He should have been stopped well short of the first down. He would not give up.
Very strong young man, and again, you take Andy and you put him one-on-one with a defensive back. I'm betting on Andy most of the time. That time, John Hamill, number 22, had a chance to keep him from making his first down, but Andy made the read back through. Here it is. There's Hamill right there, but Andy pushed it up the field for first down. Big first down for the Titans.
Now at the 49-yard line, still on the Titan end of the field, as the Titans have gone more to their running game. Andy Blatt will get a couple yards on that play before the hole closes up. He had the hole for a minute, but it closed up.
That time it was closed very quickly by the defensive back and also by the outside linebacker. Here we have second down and 8, and PLU is staying with their bigger defensive linemen at this point. You should look for 47 and 48 to come into the ball game if it's a passing situation.
In trouble. He'll have to eat the ball. He's dropped at the 40, and it's going to be a very long third down play coming up here. 10, close to 20 yards.
Very important play for PLU. Titan receivers did not get open. Sean had enough time to throw the football. Here when I talked about busy feet, you saw his feet moving. He never had a chance to set up. The receivers did not break it up the field and cut off their patterns. Bruckner was well covered at the bottom end of the screen, and so was O'Neal at the top. Titans have a conventional offensive formation here.
Sean O'Shea will scramble to the sideline, and the Titans will be punting.
That was supposed to be a quarterback draw up the middle, and the inside was completely collapsed by PLU. You can sense the momentum moving toward the PLU side of the field. Most of the fans here are PLU fans. Titans have given them a little bit of an opportunity to cheer for an effort by their defense. There's O'Shea just getting out of bounds. That play was designed to go straight up the middle, three-step drop. Back again now, Riddell and Trevor White for the punt.
Roebuck at the 22. Will get the punt away. Chance for a return. But the Titans,
excellent coverage.
Titans will close up quickly.
Yes.
And the 32-yard line will be the start of the...
Modrak was down the field. Jeff Modrak was down the field. So was Greg Hahn, stopping the play right there.
We have a timeout on the field. The Titans lead 14-7. You're watching a Westminster College production of NAIA Championship football on the KBL Sports Network. As we are watching now the Lutes back in offense. And a gain of only a couple yards.
Again, Brian Germanowski's right there along with Harold Stargill. The Lutes are trying to break that quick hitter up the middle. Trying to keep the Titans honest in the middle. Second down and about 7 yards. Rain continues to come down, and again, David, that ball will continue to get wet. Possibly end up on the carpet here in a minute, hopefully.
Anybody's ball game right now. Titans led it 14-0. The Lutes came back at the end of the first half to make it 14-7 and have really stuffed the Titans on defense here in the second half, and the Titans are doing an equivalently good job as well on defense.
You just the fans got a lesson on how to defense the option. It was just a great job. Jason Cervone sat on the line of scrimmage, so did Mark Biggin. They forced the quarterback to pitch the ball. Everyone ran to the ball. Todd McLean came up for the stop, kept them. Actually, they lost a yard on the play, so now it's third down for PLU.
And we'll watch for PLU to go to the pass play here. They've been fairly successful with third down completions today, but only entered the end zone one time.
PLU forced to call a timeout, their first timeout this half.
The Titans lead at 14-7, 6:09 to go here in the third period. We'll take this time out. This is a Westminster College production of NAIA Championship football on the KBL Sports Network.
You know, now you can apply for a loan just by calling Integra Bank. Guess money really does talk. Hey, it writes, too. Call 1-800-3-INTEGRA to apply for the loans you need for times like these at Integra Bank. Loans are a dime a dozen, but a good rate is hard to find, unless you go someplace where the rates are always good, like Integra Bank. Yep, when people see us, they stop on a dime, because we've got the loans and rates you need for times like these.
Hello, this is Kevin Hensel, your audio technician for today. I'm a graduate of Cedar Crest High School in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, over near Hershey, and I'd like to take this opportunity to wish everybody a happy holidays from the crew of TV Cable 9.
And we're back here. Time is back in for the Lutes. A big third down play for them. They need to get down, and every minute it's an ally for the Titans. They lead 14-7. And the Titan defense here can keep the momentum on the Titans side with the lead with a big stop right here. Third down and 8.
Two tight end, shotgun, two wide receivers. Both tight ends are going up the field.
And the interception. The Westminster Titans come up with the ball. A big interception there coming down with the ball for the Westminster Titans. A.J. Honig.
That was our defensive tackle, folks. The Titans rushed free, dropped the down tackle off the ball, and played zone under 3 deep. There you see Honey dropping. Look, he's looking. He sits right in there. And I tell you what, he plays catch every day. He's got great hands, he's a great athlete, and really a fine young man. That was a big play for the Titans. Big turnover.
And you can see the rain on your screen now. Look at the force of the raindrops here at Civic Stadium. It is really pouring, and the Titans need to capitalize right here at the 46-yard line of the Lutes. Quickly downfield to Bruckner. It's complete, but short of the first down at the 41. We'll pick up 5 right there.
A good quick rhythm pass. Again, the Lutes are bringing the outside linebackers. Both number 6 and number 7 are pressuring up the field. Number 8, the middle linebacker, is right on the line of scrimmage. There you see 7 pushing the ball. But again, they're isolating the corners one-on-one, and that's putting a lot of pressure on Gibbons and on Trevor White.
Titans showing a power I formation. Now they break out of it, put Bruckner out of the wide receiver. Reverse angle with Sean O'Shea. We'll go with Andy Blatt. Andy Blatt has a hold of the flag on the play, though. Andy breaks loose. He'll have the first down. Let's see what the penalty is.
A very, very disappointing penalty. There's a wide receiver. There's no need for a wide receiver ever to be offsides. I mean, he's way out there. He could be a half a second late getting off the football. He's not blocking at the point of attack. Big mistake by the Titans. Excellent hole, as you can see. And Andy set up his blockers. There we went from a first down now to having the ball second down and 10 yards to go.
A good run by Andy Blatt, negated by the Titan error.
Well, it's not only a good run, loss of field position, too, at this point.
So now Andy Blatt deep in the backfield. Fakes the handoff. Blatt will block, and Darin Coast cannot hold on. It's going to be now a third down and 10 play.
That's what they call the counter pass, where they fake to the fullback and they sneak him out underneath the receiver. And Darin's right there, but was unable to hold the football. There he is, wide open. Darin, I'm sure, would have had the first down and maybe a little bit more.
So now a big third down play as the rain continues to fall heavily at Civic Stadium.
Darren Holofsky is in a fullback for Darin Coast.
The pass play to Todd McLean, who normally is not in that. That's not Todd McLean.
No,
that's
Darren Holofsky. And then they just brought him in. They ran the exact same football play they just ran before. As I told you, PLU feels they've got to bring their linebackers now. That's 2 times in a row they brought the linebackers, and they got burned. Holofsky has much better hands than Darin. Not as big, but great call by Coach Sean Kelly that time to come back and repeat the play that was open the corner.
Reverse angle in the rain from the Titans sideline. First and 10, Titans at the 33-yard line. Andy Blatt trying to get outside. Cannot. The Luke defense will throw him for a loss.
That was the counter tray. And what happened, we pulled both the backside guard and the backside tackle. But both of them, they wasted their blocks on one man, and the safety was able to come up and make the play. Here you see both linemen pulling. There you see they got tied up on number 90 there. Both Nate Armstrong and our offensive guard got tied up on one man and were unable to get up the field to get on to the safety. That was a fine play by number 25, Rob McElrath. Titans now have second and 12. 2 receivers at the top.
Timeout called by Sean O'Shea. Timeout on the field. 4:20 to play here in period 3. The Titans lead 14-7. You're watching a Westminster College production of NAIA Championship football live from Portland, Oregon on the KVL Sports Network.
Enjoy living on a boat in the South Seas while you studied the ecology of nearby islands, or tracing the steps of the Allied armies as they marched across Europe during World War II. These are just 2 of the innovative courses offered during January term at Westminster College, an intense 4-week learning experience that comes between fall and spring terms each year. January term is a unique, exciting opportunity for Westminster students. For more information about the many benefits available at Westminster College, contact the Office of Admissions at 946-7100.
Hey there, this is Tina Turley from Seneca Valley High School, Zanople, Pennsylvania. And I am the computer graphics designer for today's game. I'd like to wish everyone out there a happy holidays from the Cable 9 crew.
And we're back with Sean O'Shea ready to go from the shotgun.
I'd like to mention to folks that Larry Krasnerick is back in the offensive lineup for the Titans. Larry got hurt and has missed most of the playoff games. He's our starting guard. He's at right guard.
Snap to O'Shea. Downfield they have Bruckner. Bruckner has some running room across the field. He has a shot at the end zone. Down at the 10, the 5. Mark Bruckner, touchdown, Westminster College.
Outstanding block by Bob Santangelo, number 42. He sprung Bruckner. Westminster came with their delay pass underneath. If we remember earlier, PLU was hurting Westminster by delaying a receiver underneath. Westminster has that play also, and Bruckner made the catch and got an outstanding block by Bob Santangelo on about the 10-yard line and just put him into the end zone. Here's the replay. There's Bruckner coming in. Right now he has the first down, but here comes the block coming up right there on your screen, and that was an outstanding block. That freed him to get into the end zone. Mark Bruckner, senior wide receiver for the Titans.
And the Titans now lead it 20-7. The extra point is up. It's good. And the Titans lead it 21-7 here with 4:10 to go, period 3. As the Titans are on the road to a national championship, you're watching a Westminster College Communication Arts production of NAIA Championship football live in the rain from Portland, Oregon on KBL.
What do you think all these are for, huh, cutie? These are for all your toys. And this one is for the plumber. Remember when Daddy tried to turn the kitchen into a swimming pool?
If your bills are piling up, maybe it's time to think about a consolidation loan from First Western Bank. All you have to do to apply is pick up the phone and call.
You don't happen to have a couple thousand hidden underneath the crib, do you?
Good afternoon, I'm Mike Love. I'm from Clearfield, Pennsylvania, a graduate of Clearfield Area High School, and I'll be in charge of the videotapes, instant replay, and PSAs. I'd like to wish everybody a happy holidays from the Cable 9 crew.
Ready for the kickoff as Tim McNeil will do that as the rain continues to come down very heavily at Civic Stadium. And the Titans will be happy for this lead here because the ball can change hands at any minute. They didn't get quite the bounce it normally would have on the wet turf. And a carry there by Finstuen out to the 26-yard line. That's where the Lutes will put it in play.
That was number 30. Yes, that was Peter Finstuen. You're correct. But he let the ball hit the ground. Most coaches lose hair over that. Of course, Frosty is a little bit bare up there since he's been in the profession for a long time. But you don't want the ball to be on the carpet. You want to catch the ball in the air. It'll be interesting to see what PLU does now to come back. Unbalanced line, slot left.
A nice carry for a first down. Requay will be out near the first down. I think he'll have it at the 36-yard line.
Requay has excellent quickness and speed. He not a very big fullback. Only 180 pounds, as you can see. He broke that seam up inside, and by the time Mills was able to get back off the block, he had a 1st and 10.
Titan fans, by the way, and all the fans here have covering from the rain because of the way the Civic Stadium is built, but the people on the sidelines are getting a dunking here right now. And a nice carry as we go back to the ball game. Hoseth keep the ball himself and get down to Westminster territory at the 46-yard line.
That's the second part of that triple option. In the first play you saw, he gave the ball to the fullback. That time he rode the fullback, pulled the ball out. Mark Biggin took the bait. As you can see, 87 stepped down inside. He's supposed to sit on the line of scrimmage and play the quarterback, and he took the fullback bait. PLU likes to run what we call a lot of companion plays. They'll run one part of the play and then come back. Here's a full house backfield.
And Stewart trying to get outside. Will not get much. Gets a couple yards down to the Titan 44-yard line. We'll give him a gain of 2. Second down and 8.
Now that was the same football play they've had success on before, only this time they just lined up in a full house backfield and ran the play, hoping the Titans would not recognize the formation and possibly not understand what they're trying to do. Most teams have formation tendencies, and the defense study those tendencies all week, and then they try to pick a play or a group of plays that might be run based on that formation.
Lutes come out in Titan territory at the 44, second down and 8. Stewart in motion. He's been much more of a threat today than Kang, but there's a threat. There's a pass completion to Carl Larum, and a first down for the Lutes down at the Titan 29.
Again, companion play. That time he faked to the fullback, pulled the ball out, and hit the slant pattern. Again, the only way that pattern can be stopped is for the outside linebacker to drop back in the zone, and it just didn't happen. Jason Cervone was flat on the line of scrimmage. The wide receiver got in behind him and was able to make the catch. Very important series for PLU. The Titans are going to have to be a little more aggressive here on defense and hopefully come up with a turnover.
Ball now at the Titan 30, first and 10. Titans do well there aggressively, and there's no gain on the play.
Again, Brian Germanowski stuffed the hole, and then Craig Mill came in underneath the runner and was able to make the tackle.
1:46 to go here in the third period as the clock runs down. Titans lead 21-7.
Maybe you can notice also they'll start to have puddles forming on the field, a little deeper wet spots than what you see right now.
The lines are disappearing rapidly too, the painted lines in the wet. Normally a baseball stadium here, it appears, at Civic Stadium. Joseph back to pass. Goes downfield, knocked down, it's incomplete. And a defender down in that area that time for the Westminster Titans was Tim Wetzel.
Tim's the outside linebacker. He was dropping back into the hole. He'll set there, gets his feet set. As you can see, that was a wet ball. That ball came right out of his hands. He didn't like that ball.
Titans lead by 2 touchdowns. Certainly an advantage with the very bad conditions now. It will not turn into a mud bowl like the semifinal at Westminster last weekend, but certainly it's going to affect the passing game and cutting ability of these speedy players here in the National Championship. And nowhere to go. As you can see the water come off the carpet there on the camera shot, and it's now going to be a fourth down play. Very persistent effort by Brian Honey. Look at him. Look at BJ coming from behind. Forced the quarterback. That was not a planned run. He wanted to fake the inside run and catch the linebackers flat. The Titans drop into the zone. Very interesting play here. Fourth down and about 7 or 8. Clock's running down to 38 seconds.
PLU had to burn another timeout. They only have 1 timeout left now going into the fourth quarter with 38 seconds to go in the third quarter. Very important that they've had to use 2 timeouts because they couldn't get a play called in 25 seconds.
With the timeout on the field here, we're going to take our timeout to thank these people who make this broadcast possible. Mr. and Mrs. Walter R. Sylvester Jr., Mr. and Mrs. Jerome Simon, the Honorable and Mrs. Glenn McCracken Jr., Gemco, Mr. and Mrs. James James, Integra Financial Corporation, Ann H. Haldeman, Dewar's Car World, Mr. and Mrs. James Dewar, First Western Bank, N.A., Mr. and Mrs. Frederick Kurtzy, and Bruce and Marilee's Electric Company, Mr. and Mrs. Robert J. Bruce. The entire production out here in Portland, Oregon, which required the communications department to rent equipment. Obviously couldn't take our own truck all the way out here. The rental of the satellite time, the transportation of students out here, the entire cost of this production covered by those Titan supporters.
I'm anxious to see what PLU is going to do here. It's fourth down, 7 yards to go on the Titan 27-yard line. They had a mass substitution, a lot of numbers in there that I don't recognize from before. I don't believe they're going to try to kick a field goal, or at least it doesn't look so like at this time.
So now it's going to be 4th down. I think they're going to be going for it towards the end of the period here as they send wide receivers out the east side.
And the Titans called timeout.
We'll take our own timeout this time as the Titans lead it by a score of 21-7. You're watching Westminster College's Communication Arts production of NAIA Championship football from Portland, Oregon on the KBL Sports Network. And the loose ball, who's going to have this one now?
Regardless of who has it, David, that was a 4th down play. The Titans now have great field position and have control of the football with 31 seconds to go.
And the wet football is costly right there for the Lutes. As we are just about now, Coach, unable to see the yard markers on the field here in the rain. This is going to become more and more interesting because they do not have, well, they do have on the far side some little small markers to indicate the yards, but they're very rapidly disappointing. Frosty Westering getting wet in the rain and not happy at all with that turnover.
Well, at worst, he thought Westminster would end up with the ball on the 20-some yard line.
Andy Blatt holds on and gets up to the 43-yard line. The clock is now on the 24 seconds here as we approach the end of the 3rd quarter.
I doubt if you'll see the Titans run a play. Here they're going to let the clock run down, take the ball.
We are going to be ending the 3rd period. We have played 3 periods here at Civic Stadium, Pacific Lutheran. And at the end of 3, the score, Westminster 21 and Lutes, they have 7. Now this time out for our local cable affiliates on the KBL Sports Network.
The recent addition of a new physical fitness center and a major facelift for the football stadium top the list of the current and future improvements to Westminster College's athletic facilities. Both are part of the college's $35 million capital campaign called A Heritage for Westminster. The new stadium complex, to be named after the late Dr. Harold E. Burry, Westminster head football coach for 20 years, will include an improved natural grass playing surface, a synthetic track, increased seating, and a new press box. For more information or to make a contribution, call 946-7370.
The NAIA was the first association to provide championship opportunities for both men and women, establishing a women's division in 1980. And the NAIA, with the adoption of stringent academic eligibility legislation in 1987, became the only intercollegiate athletic association to require that all participating student athletes exhibit constant progress toward an academic degree to maintain eligibility. And that is the NAIA definition of success.
All the behind-the-scenes positions for today's TV broadcast from camera to director are held by Westminster College broadcast communications majors. Broadcast instruction from professionals in the field, plus extensive hands-on experience in both radio and television, can be found close to home. Be part of the action in the future. Learn more about broadcasting at Westminster College. For more information, contact the Westminster College admissions office.
You know, now you can apply for a loan just by calling Integra Bank. Guess money really does talk. Hey, it writes, too. Call 1-800-3-INTEGRA to apply for the loans you need for times like these at Integra Bank. You know, if you had a nickel for every one of the thousands of loans Integra Bank made last year to people and families around here, well, you probably wouldn't need a loan. Integra Bank has the loans you need for times like these.
we're back. We're ready for action. The final period to go here in a very wet field now. And the Titan lead of 21-7 will be in a little bit of an advantage here, not more than normal because of the bad field conditions. The Titans will elect to keep it on the ground and get out across the 45-yard line to the 46. It's going to be third down and around 3.
Dave, one thing about artificial surface, it doesn't get muddy, but those areas that are painted now, as you can see the NAIA logo bleeding all over the field, that area becomes very slick. Titans are going to try to control the football here, try to pick up some first downs and bleed the clock. Here they are lining up in a power and then shifting to a slot formation.
Clock is the ally now with a 2-touchdown lead. The only touchdown for the Pacific Lutheran Lutes came at the end of the first half, and the Titans have the first down. I don't see any flags. It'll be a first down for Westminster.
And again, I think what you're seeing now, the Titan offensive line is getting off the ball, but more importantly, Westminster had Jaron Halfback in at fullback in place of Darin Coast. Jaron is getting a lot of experience, and to give him the football in such a crucial play gives you an idea what the offensive coaches think of his ability. Bob Santangelo will be in and out replacing Andy Blatt also. Bob, if you remember, had the key block down there for the touchdown that Mark Bruckner had on the pass reception.
Power eye, now they shift out of that. Halfback and Andy Blatt are in the backfield now. It was a 1st and 10, a new fresh 4 at the 49-yard line. Andy Blatt outside has a block from Nate Armstrong and gets down to the 49, make it the 44-yard line.
Earlier, if you remember, they ran that play, and I said both offensive linemen got tied up on one defender. Well, that time, Nate Armstrong showed his ability to run outside and throw a key block. It was only a 3-yard gain, but I tell you, it takes time off the clock. We don't go out of bounds, and Westminster is going to try to bleed that clock as much as they can for the rest of the quarter.
And the wind is now becoming a factor here, coaches. We're holding on to all our papers up here in the broadcast booth, and that's going to have an effect on the field as well. It's not raining quite as hard, but still raining heavily. Andy Blatt can't find a hole, but makes a hole. Gets down to the 40-yard line. There was no hole there. Where did he get it?
Well, that's what I said. Andy's a horse. When you get a horse like that, you put a saddle on him and ride him. And I think you're going to see the Titans are going to be riding that horse for the rest of the fourth quarter.
As he gets down to now a 3rd down and 2 situation down at the 40-yard line of the Lutes. It looked like he should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Larry Krasnarek is limping off the field again. Remember, I mentioned Larry, number 61, just came back from an ankle injury. Had his first opportunity to play last week for a little bit, and I'm sure he's very disappointed because he's worked real hard all year.
Eric Petoskey moves over to the end. Now the pitch. Andy Blatt has room outside and will get out of bounds, unfortunately, as he gets the ball down to the 39-yard line.
Andy had the first down. Now keep in mind, once you get the first down, the clock stops, but it starts again. I think if Andy had to do that over again, he'd take the first down and stay in bounds. But an outstanding block. Again, that was a formation play. The Titans lined up in a formation they very seldom line up in, and they outflanked PLU. They were able to close down the inside and kick out, and Andy was able to get the first down.
12:21 to play in this ball game. The winner of this one takes it all. You could theoretically have a tie, I believe, in the NAIA Championship.
Yes. There was an outstanding run by Jaron Halfback. He replaced, he's alternating now with Darin Coast, but he gives us a little quicker running up inside. And if we have to throw the football, a little better pair of hands, but both of the young men are doing an excellent job.
Right now it's going to be 2nd down, and we'll take a look at the replay.
There's Jaron. And look who's leading up through the hole. Andy Blatt was the leading blocker there, going up through the hole.
The clock is down to 11:50. It's 2nd down and 4 for the Titans at the 29-yard line of the Lutes from Pacific Lutheran. And they give the ball to Andy Blatt again, who gets down to the 25-yard line. This time he's short of the first down. So it's going to be a 3rd down, but maybe a yard or 2.
I'd like to give some credit to the guys that never get their name called except if they jump off sides, and everyone says them. Their mom and dad love them, and I, as a former offensive line coach, I certainly love them. But the interior offensive line of Nate Armstrong, Kirk Bloomberg, John McCullis, Larry Krasnarek, Mark Dana, and Jason Swagger have just done an outstanding job today of blocking for the offense.
Titans need a 1 yard to keep this drive going. We're already in 4-down territory. Andy Blatt will not get the yard. He's sticking up at the line of scrimmage and the loss of the play.
Again, it's a penetrating 7-8-man line defense, and that time they got the seam. They beat the offensive line to the punch. Able to step in, number 41, and was able to step up inside and make the tackle. And right there, as you can see, an excellent hit. 4th down play. Of course, the running clock is going. Hopefully the Titans can get this play off before the 25-second clock is off. Big play for the Titans right here.
O'Shea calling in the line of scrimmage. He has the go to change the play, and Andy Blatt does not have the first down. He has stopped a yard short. The Lutes will take over at their own 25-yard line.
That was a big defensive stand for the Lutes, but if you look at the clock right now, the Titans took almost 5 minutes off the clock in that drive. 5 minutes off the clock. They took the ball at the beginning of the 4th quarter, and now it's in. There's the hit right there. Andy was not able to get up into the seam and attack that defensive back the way he would have liked to.
Let's take a look from our end zone camera today. 10:09 to play here in the ball game. We can see the scoreboard at the far end of the field, and we're ready for action. 21-7 Titans.
It's still raining lightly out there, but not as heavy as it had been raining before.
Lights have been on for about an hour now as Finstuen tries to get outside and will get out to the 30-yard line, a gain of 5. Of course, as long as they keep the ball on the ground, that is an advantage to the Titans.
PLU had to burn 2 timeouts in this half because of unable to get the play in on time or to get out of the huddle, so they only have 1 timeout left as they're down to the stretch.
9:45 is the time remaining now as we'll take a look at
that's the sweep off of the wing tee. Titans are going to try to keep him inbounds.
Keep the clock running for the extra outline. Titans lead by 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points, 21-7. In the final period from Civic Stadium, the pass downfield and a nice play and a first down for the Pac Lutheran Lutes. Carl Warren comes down with the ball and a first down.
Carl, again, that's a delayed play underneath. It's actually a screen pass, and the offensive line are allowed down the field on those kind of plays because of the fact that the receiver is behind the line of scrimmage when he catches the ball. And Harold Stargell came out of his shoe that time, number 43. The official gave him a few seconds to get back in his shoe. I'm sure it feels really nice now with a wet sock in that shoe. But Harold's really feeling nothing right now except wanting a tight victory.
Just looked at Greg Villwock.
And there's the third timeout for PLU. They have no timeouts left in this game.
We have a timeout in the field. The Titans lead at 21-7 here. We'll take our own timeout. You're watching a Westminster College Communication Arts production of NAIA Championship football live from Civic Stadium on KBL.
Can't make heads or tails of your loan application? We know how you feel. That's why Integra Bank has shortened and simplified their application just by using some common sense. Now it's easy to get the loans you need for times like these. You know, now you can apply for a loan just by calling Integra Bank. Guess money really does talk. Hey, it writes too. Call 1-800-3-INTEGRA to apply for the loans you need for times like these at Integra Bank.
Hi, my name is Matt Noir. I'm from Hermitage, Pennsylvania. I'm running camera for your entertainment pleasure this afternoon. I'd like to say hi to all the people back at Westminster College and all my friends and family back in the Western Pennsylvania area. A very Merry Christmas to all of you.
It's a day that these communication students will remember. A trip to Portland to broadcast the national championship. Certainly all being Westminster students, they want to bring back the championship with the team. And right now, they have 8:56 to burn off the clock with a 2-touchdown lead. No timeouts left for the Lutes right now. The ball at the 40-yard line. It will be 1st and 10, still on the Lute end of the field. But so far, the Lutes have been going to the ground game a lot, and they've been getting the first downs, but the clock has been eaten away.
Pacific Lutheran is in a unbalanced line right.
These are stacked.
This is called a cluster in modern terminology. Now, those receivers will all go different directions on the snap of the ball.
And they don't get with it to any of them. They go with a running play. And didn't fool the Titans there. And Tang is stopped at the line of scrimmage, so make a second down at 10. The clock continues to run here in the final period.
And you're going to see PLU go to their hurry-up offense. Here it is. They line up in the cluster, and they try to run the play up the middle. They're back in the cluster formation again. 4 receivers to the top of the screen. There it is. That possibly would have been a lateral. The official says no, incomplete pass. That's a very dangerous pass. The official even talked to the quarterback that time and tried to tell him to be careful. If that ball would have been thrown backwards, that would have been a free ball for the Titans to jump on.
Yeah, lateral, as you have indicated many times, Coach, does not have to be underhand, and it can be an overhand pass as long as it is backwards.
That's correct. I see you learned something from my football class.
Once-a-year tradition. The ball now at the 41-yard line. Third down play, still in the Lute end of the field for Pacific Lutheran. Time. The pass completion, I don't know. It might be short of the first down marker.
It could be short of the first down marker. Again, that time, the Titans dropped B.J. Honig, the defensive tackle that had the pass interception. They dropped him off the line of scrimmage. They only rushed 3. It's a 4th down play. Now, the important thing about this is the receiver did not get the first down. PLU has to go for it now. The clock is running. They're trying to get a play in. This is taking time off the clock. PLU did not want to do this. They wanted to get the first down, stop the clock, and get up and call the play. There's about 5 seconds to go on the running clock right now for the play clock.
4th down 1 for the Lutes. A big 4th down play. They go straight ahead. They have it. It'll be first down at the 50-yard line, but the clock will continue to run, and we'll move the chains, and it'll fire back up again.
They wasted approximately 35 to 40 seconds when the receiver did not get the first down.
And they move into Titan territory at the 49, but they trail the Titans. If you're just joining us on your TVs in Western Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Ohio on the KVL Sports Network, the Lutes trail here in the championship game from Pacific Lutheran by a score of 21-7 to the Westminster Titans.
Lutes do have a powerful offense, though, and the Titans are going to have to play good defense in the late part of the game here to keep them from getting on the board and getting some momentum.
Joseph, loose ball, as the wet might have had an effect there as they had the ball into the hands of a receiver and room to run, Carl Laram, and he couldn't hold on.
That's the famous let the defensive lineman rush, drop the ball over their head. It's a screen underneath. There you can see it. But Harold Stargill that time and Craig Mills were not fooled. They were there in a position to make the tackle. That does stop the clock, though, for the Lutes.
7:16 to play in this ball game. For the Titan fans watching, it's going to be the slowest 7:16 in their lifetime. We're looking for a national championship here. It's going to be a very fast clock for the Pac Lutheran Lute fans. Joseph back, has a reception beyond the first down marker. It will be first down, and it had go to the same receiver, Carl Laram. He gets it, and it will be 1st and 10 Pacific Lutheran at the Titan 38-yard line.
Laram's just going down around 12 yards and curling up in the zone. They're attacking the outside linebacker core of Westminster now. There you see it right there.
Ball barely there. Had a dive for it on the ground. It's going to be at the 37-yard line as they spot the ball in Titan territory. Titans lead by 2 touchdowns. 21-7 at the 37-yard line. The Lutes are back in action. Joseph will go from the shotgun. He dumps it off, but there's an interception. This time it's going to be Craig Mills. Craig Mills only has one man to beat. He falls on the turf, but that could have been a touchdown.
Again, that was the delay pass underneath. The Titans have been working on that play all week. They let the lineman rush to try to bring someone underneath. Craig Mills dropped into his zone, picked off the ball, and Joseph was intercepted again.
There we see Craig getting the congratulations of all his teammates, and the clock down to 6:41 for Craig and the rest of the Titans to be taking home a national championship.
There it is right there. Craig right there picks it up. Now he shows some great running ability. Biggins trying to give him a block, and he slips and falls on the turf.
He would not fall in there. I think he had a shot at the end zone. McNeil in motion. We'll keep it on the ground. Andy Blatt will run into a lot of Pacific Lutheran Lutes, but the clock will keep running as the Titans are down to the Lute 35-yard line, looking for possibly the clinching score here in this ball game.
Dave, while I have an opportunity between plays, I'd like to mention to all the Titan fans that the charter will be returning to Youngstown Airport. We plan to get in sometime around 2 a.m. Sunday morning and bus back to campus shortly after that.
Titans will most likely keep it right in the ground here. As I say that, they were setting up for a pass play, but Sean O'Shea runs the ball anyway and gets down to the 31-yard line.
I don't believe that was a pass play. I believe that the fullback and the quarterback just did not mesh on the play, and O'Shea did what he was supposed to do, and that was just run the football. There's Coach Gene Nicholson, hoping that that clock would run faster. I know that thing never runs fast enough when you want it to, and when you don't want it to, it seems like you have no time left at all. But the Titans will try to bleed the clock. By that I mean O'Shea will try to get the ball snapped with just like 1 or 2 seconds left in the 25-second clock every time.
It's down to the 4-second mark when they snap the ball there. Andy Blatt could have it all. He fights down to the 10-yard line. It could be first and goal. It'll be a very within inches of first and goal at the 10-yard line.
Andy made a fine run. I think he lost his jaw pad there. It's on the turf. He'll have to come out for a play till he gets his equipment fixed. But Bob Santangelo will be going in. There's an excellent. See, he had the seam. That's the seam. Now he punishes those little defensive backs. And you can see the ear pad pop out of his helmet.
And it will be a first and 10 at the 11-yard line for the Titans, trying to put what could be a clinching score on the board right here. Sean O'Shea from the shotgun runs outside. He's a good running quarterback. He will have to run out and get nothing. That's not a move that I'm sure Coach Gene Nicholson would like. He would have said, Sean, hey, the clock's on our side. Stay in bounds.
David, I'm laughing because I threw my hands up in the air when Sean went out of bounds, and I happened to look down on the sideline, and Gene Nicholson had his hands flying up in the air, too. I guess being together for so many years, we sort of react the same. We didn't want to get out of bounds. Sean wanted to stay in bounds and wanted to eat out the clock because, again, this is an explosive team, and we don't want to give them an opportunity here.
Sean over center now. He's wearing number 7, as you noticed if you're just joining us. His number 11 jersey was ripped. Now the pitch on the option to Andy Blatt. Andy Blatt stays in bounds that time. When it gets a couple yards, though, he gets maybe 3. It'll be a 3rd down and 7 play.
And that's the pop option. The Titans ran that on a crucial 4th down play early in the game and made the 1st down. Fakes to the fullback, comes out, pitches it to Andy. Andy was able to pick up a few yards, but most importantly, as you said, he stayed in bounds. The clock is running. The Titans are taking as much time as they can off the 25-second clock. Right now, they're down to about 9 seconds before we have to snap the football.
Andy Blatt gets open. Look at that word. Touchdown. The Westminster Titans appear that they will take home a national championship with only 3:58 to play in the ball game. The Titans now lead 27-7.
We snapped the ball with 1 second on the 25-second clock, and that's a good job. Great job by Andy Blatt. Excellent power. Remember, we talked about that earlier in the game, that Andy's a big physical person, and if he has to hit people a few times late in the game, it may take its toll. And there you see it right there. He just ran over a few people at the line of scrimmage and into the end zone.
And the extra point by Willie Woods. 3:58 to play. And things are looking good for Titan fans. The kick is up. No good this time. The score 27-7. We'll be back with a kickoff to see what this explosive offense can do from Pacific Lutheran. As you're watching a Westminster College Communication Arts production of NAIA Championship football live from Portland, Oregon on the KVL Sports Network.
Westminster College ranks among the best liberal arts colleges and universities in the country? Not just the region, but in the country. According to U.S. News and World Report in its annual Best Colleges in America issue, Westminster's reputation, selectivity, faculty, and financial resources, graduation rate, and alumni satisfaction combine to place it among the country's elite liberal arts colleges. For more information about Westminster or to schedule a campus visit, contact the Office of Admissions at 946-7100.
Hi, my name is Dawn Wadsworth. I'm from Ravenna, Ohio, and I attended Southeast High School. I'm a camera person for today's game. I would like to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from everyone at Westminster College and Cable 9.
Frosty Westering has a 2-0 record so far against the Westminster Titans, but that is being threatened right now as the Titans lead at 27-7 with 3:58 to go in this ball game, and Tim McNeil ready to kick off here as it continues to rain at Civic Stadium. The lights have been on for some time. It's a very dark sky and a very wet field, and he'll kick it on the ground, a squib kick, and a good return.
That's Ben Hunt. He had an excellent return earlier in the game also. But the Titans are just trying to get the ball on the carpet. They're trying to hopefully have it bounce around, let our people get down the field. Defense now is going to try to keep them contained, not give up a quick score, give them some life, and make the clock run.
They only have to run at 3:52 with the 27-7 lead. The Lutes need 3 scores in that 3:52 to have a chance. Nearly an interception. Craig Mills was going for the tackle. If he had gone for the ball, it would have been his.
Well, Craig had a nice target there in front. He thought he might as well take it. That's what linebackers do. You know, they're the hitmen of the football team. There it is. A very nice hit. Again, the Lutes are still throwing the ball underneath. They have not gone up top most of the game.
22. And Stewart will have nowhere to go, and now the 150 Titan fans that are here are really making a noise as they are being heard here at Civic Stadium.
David, the longer that clock runs, the closer the Titans are to... Here's that play again. That is actually a lateral. It's a backward pass, and the Titans attack the receiver. Shotgun now for the Lutes.
Third down at 12. Hosen has all kinds of time now. He'll have to eat the ball. Loose ball on the carpet. The Lutes will have it back. No, they say Titans.
Brian Germanowski, he has had an outstanding football game today. He and B.J. Honig have just taken the whole middle of that defensive line, and they have just controlled the line of scrimmage for the Titans. We have an injured player on the field there for the Lutes. I'm not sure, we can't pick up a number. Looks like he had the wind knocked out of him because he got caught right in the middle of that fumble recovery. It looked like the Lutes were going to recover the football, but then it squirted out at the last minute. There you see Brian Germanowski, big smile on his face.
We'll give us one more opportunity here to say thank you so much to the private donators that made this broadcast possible. Bruce and Marilee's Electric Company, Mr. and Mrs. Robert J. Bruce, Mr. and Mrs. Frederick C. Kurtzy, Dewar's Car World, Mr. and Mrs. James C. Dewar, First Western Bank N.A., Ann H. Haldeman, Gemco, Mr. and Mrs. James, the Honorable Mr. and Mrs. Glenn McCracken Jr., as we just got a chance to look at the play there, Mr. and Mrs. Jerome Simon, Mr. and Mrs. Walter Sylvester Jr., and Integra Financial Corporation.
Titans have the ball now, 1st and 10 on approximately the 44-yard line of PLU.
3:12 to eat off. We'll go with Andy Blatt in the ground. No timeouts left for Pacific Lutheran. So you can imagine that the Titans are going to take a full 35 seconds every play here.
25 plus
the running of the play. That's why I came up with 30.
Oh, okay. That advanced math gets to me sometimes. Titans are substituting now, trying to get some other people into the ball game, but more importantly, the Titans will be bringing home their 6th national championship, more than any other school in the NAIA Division II. All the credit goes to Gene Nicholson and his fine coaching staff.
O'Shea outside. Loose ball, but it goes out of bounds. And he'll have the first down. The ball will be out of bounds, so the clock will stop with 2:28, but the Titans will have a new 4 downs.
That play had everyone fooled. Everyone thought he gave the ball to Bob Santangelo, number 42. Santangelo held the fake, and O'Shea bootlegged the ball to the outside. Only thing is, he did go out of bounds and stop the clock. That was a fine football play. 2:28 to go. David, Titans are driving for another touchdown.
Coast will keep the ball and gain 5 on the play down to the 27-yard line. A senior playing in his last game. He's from the Mohawk area high school, Newcastle area.
Here's the play. It's a quick handoff to the fullback up inside. Darin finds that little seam and gets up the field, holds on to the football. I don't know if the fans noticed, but O'Shea was under the center, and looking at the clock, he wasn't going to have the ball snapped until about 4 or 5 seconds. He's doing the same thing now. He's looking around, trying to see how much time's left on the 25-second clock before he snaps the ball. That ball was snapped with 1 second to go on the 25-second clock, and that's basically bleeding the clock. Just taking your time. If you get a chance to score, if you break a run here, fine. If not, just run out the clock and win the game.
Third down to go. It's 1 minute 29 seconds to the national championship for the Westminster Titans. And the clock continues to run as we can look at it there in the end zone. Santangelo with the carry and a first down for the Titans. I want to point out that we have our own senior on the TV squad that deserves some recognition. Rich McGarry from Volant, Pennsylvania, Wilmington area high school, the director of today's broadcast, a broadcast communications major at Westminster, doing his last football broadcast.
Here's Santangelo making the break to the outside, getting up the field, picking up the first down. Clock is running now, 50-some seconds to go.
Clock down to 40. Sean will just kneel down.
Kneel down. That depends on when the officials put the ball in play here. If most officials will wait and put the ball in play with less than 25 seconds to go, so the game will be over. And basically, that's what happened. The referee pushed the clock in play with about 24 seconds to go. The Titans will not run another football play. Titans come home with another national championship. We expect to arrive at the Youngstown Airport sometime around 1:50 to 2 o'clock Sunday morning. There's Sean O'Shea celebrating as one happy young man. He played in the WPIAL championship and lost. He played last year in the national championship and lost. And this time he takes home it all for the Westminster Titans here. A fine job for Sean O'Shea. Coach Joe Fusco and I will come back with final comments on this ball game right after this timeout as you're watching Westminster College's production of championship football. The Titans win at 27-7 on the KVL Sports Network.
What do you think all these are for, huh, cutie? These are for all your toys. And this one is for the plumber. Remember when Daddy tried to turn the kitchen into a swimming pool?
If your bills are piling up, maybe it's time to think about a consolidation loan from First Western Bank. All you have to do to apply is pick up the phone and call.
You don't happen to have a couple thousand hidden underneath the crib, do you?
From United High School, Brush Valley, Pennsylvania. I'll be operating camera for today's game and wanted to wish all of you a happy holiday season from the crew here at Cable 9.
We look at some happy Titans here and some happy Titan fans. And It's a good celebration here. I'm Dave Barner, the chair of the Communication Arts Department at Westminster, and with me today has been our athletic director from Westminster College, Coach Joe Flesko. Coach, a great day for the Titans.
It certainly has been. It's been a great trip, folks. We arrived here sometime Thursday evening, and the young men and the parents just had an outstanding flight, played outstanding football today, particularly against a team that tries to razzle-dazzle you at times, but also has the ability to run at you, too. And the Titans handled both, caused a lot of turnovers, and were able to capitalize on those turnovers.
So what are the keys with the turnovers today? What do you think of the keys in the victory today?
Well, I think the turnovers, without a doubt, field position in the first half with turnovers. Then the second half, some key turnovers, some big plays by some linebackers, and then the ability to take that ball and put it in the end zone. I think, without a doubt, Bruckner's touchdown off of a delay pass to make it 21-7 was the thing that pushed the Titans to the next level. And great game preparation, particularly our offensive preparation was outstanding. Defensive preparation was also excellent.
Well, Coach, it's been great having you with us here on the away games this season. As we are going to be leaving here, we're going to be giving credit to our own crew. We want to take a look at the National Championship trophy. That's Gene Nicholson right there. He'll get the winning coach, as we'll stay here just a minute or two and see if we can pick up the awards ceremony for the folks back home. I don't know if we'll have all the sound. That is the National Championship trophy.
Titan names have been on there 5 times. Now it will be 6, and that trophy will be displayed in our main office for a year.
One of our camera people, Vicki DeArmond. We're taking a look at the championship trophy, the runner-up trophy there by Pacific Lutheran.
There are the tri-captains accepting the championship trophy.
And we're going to get a chance here. I don't know if how well we can pick up the audio from the PA system. That's Sean O'Shea, E.J. Honing, Todd McLean holding the Westminster trophy. And here's the winner of it all. Here's the big one, Don Wadsworth on camera here. And Sean O'Shea is one happy young man, winning the all-time best passing records for the Westminster Titans. But what is making his day a memory that he'll never forget, the National Championship trophy, now in the hands of the Westminster Titans. The final score, the Westminster Titans win it by a score of 27-7 on behalf of the entire Cable 9 crew from Portland, Oregon. Have a happy holiday. We'll see you back home on KBL Sports Network.
The preceding program was produced by Westminster College TV Cable 9.